What's going on, you brothers? It's your dude, Mr. International Passport. Hope you brothers are doing good, man. First and foremost, brothers, how's my audio? Do you hear me loud and clear? Press A1 in the chat if you hear me loud and clear right now, brothers. Okay, press A1 in the chat if you hear me loud and clear. Let me know right now, brothers. Okay, very important you hear me. Is my voice clean, crisp, and concise? Okay. Press the one in the chat right now before I go any further. Pardon me. Who's in the building? Press the one in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear, please. How's my audio? Mr. Padigo Chang and PR. Yes, welcome back again, bro. Intellect. Welcome back again, bro. Appreciate you, man. Miss you yesterday, Intellect. Welcome back, bro. So I think we're good. Awesome. We've got two people confirming the sound is clean and crisp. So, brothers, welcome to another classic live stream. I'm your gracious host, Mr. International Passport, back again for yet another classic live stream, this time about Australian woman. Okay. First and foremost, brothers, when you come in the stream, make sure you press the like button. It's very important. We have over 10 people. Please hit the like button. And of course, brothers, make sure you support the channel throughout tonight. Cash App, Super Chat, join the Patreon Diamond Tier 2. Okay, and cop the merch as well and be a part of the International Passport ecosystem. All right. So, brothers, we're back again this time for Australian women. I've got a brother with me, an intelligent brother who has a very extensive experience with Australian women, and we're gonna get straight into it, brothers. Mr. Rashawn, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? How you doing out there?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. How you doing out there as well, bro? You good?
Yeah, it's all good, man. Here it's morning time out here, so we're just doing our thing. A day
Awesome,
off
bro.
from work, so you know how it is.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, Mr. Rashawn, do you mind giving us a brief intro about who you are, where you're from in America, and anything special about you, brother, before we go any further in this stream, bro? Thank you.
I'm from Dallas, Texas. I came out here. First time I came out here was 2013. I came out of Australia. Fell in love with the place and decided to move here for a short time and see how I go. So I've been here since 20. I went 2013. I came for a visit for a 2 month visit, and I went back and came back in 2017. Decided to study here, and now I work here. I work here as a nurse.
Awesome, fantastic. And if you want to hear the full breakdown as to how the brother moved there, join the Patreon Diamond tier. We dropped a long video about his life in Australia, dating there, and of course, explicit experiences about Australian women only on the Patreon Diamond tier. If you want to hear that full story. But today it's only about the woman and it's the PG version. The more extreme, explicit version about life in general in Australia, join the Patreon Diamond tier. So, Mr. Rashawn, thank you for your time this morning and slash evening, according to our
Hmm.
time zones. Appreciate you, bro.
Pleasure.
So, probably you know me. I'm a very
Hmm.
straightforward guy. I'm gonna get straight
Hmm.
into it, brothers. Okay.
Hmm.
Where are you currently at in Australia? What city, bro?
I live in the city of the Gold Coast in the state of Queensland, which is more like it's like they call it the Little Miami. People who come in here, they say it's a Little Miami because it's more like a beach area. I live like 15 minutes away from the beach, 15-minute walk, pretty much, with 10-minute drive from the beach. Um, Big buildings, party life, nightlife. It's kind of crazy out here, but it's not as it's not, don't get confused. It's more it's Miami's way better, but here it's just a bit more. It's a bit cool, good weather, and sort of a good experience.
Awesome. Thank you, bro.
Hmm.
Fantastic. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You're starting to get that Australian accent, bro. You've been there out too long, bro. I'm hearing a bit of it in your voice.
Oh man, I've been here. You talk to Australians every day, so you pick them words and all that kind of stuff.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, brother, my first question to you, brother, is the money making golden question.
Hmm.
Are the women in Australia checking heavy for brothers?
Um, man, I don't want to lie to you, man. It's kind of tough out here. I'm not gonna lie to you. It depends what city you're in, actually.
Mm,
In my city, it's kind of tough because it's more. It depends where there's more black people. You know what I mean? Where the brothers are. In cities like Sydney and Melbourne, you do pretty well. You do okay. You know. Um, then city in Melbourne, you do okay. Then my city is kind of tough. You pick and choose. You know, most girls that we actually get are from other cities or they're foreign. So you could probably, because my city, there's a lot of people come here, backpackers, tourists from other countries and all that kind of stuff, or girls from other, or ladies from other cities like Melbourne, Sydney. Those are the guys, the women you kind of get.
interesting, bro. So let me break your answer down a bit more intricately,
Hmm.
brother. So where you're
Hmm.
currently at isn't good for brothers to go to get women. You're telling brothers to avoid that New South Wales area that you're in right now, okay? But to get the
New,
woman,
New, New South Wales is actually the state that Sydney is in. So I live in the Queensland. Queensland is more
Queensland.
like, yes, I mean, it's more conservative. Well, I can't say conservative. It's more whitely populated city. Yeah, more whitely populated city. So there's not a lot of brothers. There's not a lot of people who look like us in this city.
Mm,
So obviously the demographics are not as big, and it's really tough. Like I'll even go further. Like as a brother, it's a black guy. You got two options: black girls and white girls. And black girls, there's not many of them. So we're
mm.
talking about less than less than 1,000. No, no, that's a bit too much. I'll make less than 5,000 women, less than 5,000 black girls out here, and some of them, of course, some of the time we remove the population. We're moving those kind of girls that don't look good. Of course, the good looking ones, you're probably sharing them with every black guy out here, and it depends if you want to share because this is a funny thing. You could be a girl be messing around with you. She could be messing around with your friend. She could be messing around with your cousin, a
Okay,
brother,
so
whatever.
hold on, bro.
So
So that's in Queensland that's happening, yeah? Queensland. Okay.
even it depends where you are. Like you're talking about, if you want to deal with black girls only, that is pretty
So
much happening across Australia. The
before
whole of
we hold on,
Australia is
bro.
happening. Mhm.
Before we go into the race part here, I just want to break down the cities where is
Mhm.
brothers will get more success in. So Queensland, no, hot and cold there. So you're saying
No,
Melbourne and Sydney is where brothers get more success with the woman there in Australia.
yeah, exactly.
Fantastic, bro. This is great.
Mhm.
Tell us why Melbourne and Sydney are the best cities for brothers to go to get women. What is it about those cities that they're checking for brothers?
Because it's a population. There's more black. There's more brothers out there. There's more black population out there. Um, and people get used to the culture, seeing those people. Some of them go to school with them. So you get my point. Like that, you see these people every single day. So there will be that thing where you build attractions because you've seen those people and you get to know their personality. They're cool people, and you remove the stereotypical thinking. You remove the
Fantastic.
stereotypical, yeah. So you remove the stereotypical thinking, like, oh yeah, black brothers, and whatever. But for that, in those cities, they grew up with them, they party with them, they get to know them as a race and stuff like that. So they'll be like, oh yeah, let me open and the thing is that in Sydney and Melbourne, mostly Sydney, Melbourne. In Melbourne, it's more of the American culture has actually made that city a bit more. They try to be like America so much.
Mm,
So when they checking out for brothers out there, it's more like, oh, he's black. Oh, cool, shit. Like, sorry
language,
for
bro.
yeah, sorry. They're like, um, oh, he's black. Oh yeah, cool. We like the culture, we like the music, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Interesting, brother. So let me pick apart those cities even further. What
Hmm.
races of women in Melbourne first and then Sydney after give brothers the most play? Break it down to us, brother, to an absolute T, one with the whole 9 yard, brother.
Okay. In Sydney and Melbourne, your most success is most with Middle East women.
Oh,
Middle East women.
what?
Middle East. If you want nationalities, mostly Lebanese. Lebanese women. They
Lebanese.
love brothers. They love brothers. So most success is I'd say a little bit of European women like Greek. Greek women, they do love brothers too. Um, English women, if the British probably should parents are background were born in the UK and they grew up in Australia, they kind of love brothers too. So you have a small population of white women that are into brothers in Sydney. They're more open. Yeah, in Sydney they're more open. So I'll say Middle East women, that's where you got the most success.
Okay, brother. So my follow-up question to that, brother, is why
Mhm.
do Middle Eastern women, particularly the Lebanese women, love us so much in those areas in Australia? What is it about brothers that love?
Um, I don't, to be frank, it's more like it's the culture. They love their culture. They love their culture. They love the black culture. You know what I mean? In terms of like the hip hop, the charisma that comes with the personality, and also the traditional part of we come from a culture. We both races come from a cultural background. They're Arab. We're either Black African or Black American. There's a little bit of culture in us, so they can relate in those kind of things. So
Okay,
it's more like a vibe. It's the vibe. You know what I mean?
interesting. What about the Asian women there, the East Asian women and the no, it's a East Asian women, brother? Are they checking for brothers in Melbourne and Sydney? 'Cause I know that there's a huge population there.
East Asian, where you're talking about Indians and all
Korean,
that kind of stuff.
Korean,
Korean, nah, Korean.
Japanese.
Oh nah, you ain't no chance with those, man. No chance. You can pick one out of a million that's probably into that, but nah, you have no chance. Koreans, Chinese, Japanese there, yeah, there's a chance, but Koreans, Chinese, Taiwanese, whatever it is, nah, no chance.
Why is that, bro?
No chance.
They were the
Um,
white boys, huh?
yeah, yeah, they love the white boys. Even if mostly, yeah, it's the thing is like this is what happens. So it's they you got a migration, big migration in Australia. A lot of people come to Australia, and I'll tell you this: Chinese or the Southeast Asians, they don't move to those big cities like Melbourne and all that kind of stuff. They move to cities like Sydney and Queensland. That's where they mostly come.
Interesting.
So yeah, but even the ones that live in Melbourne, it's only white boys. That's their thing.
Okay. I
Either
can
they,
do with
is
that.
either they're dating, is yeah, either they're dating their own race or they're dating with the white guy.
So you're saying, brother, we have the most success rate with East Asian women with the Japanese women in Australia.
Japanese women. Japanese are more open because Japanese, I think, in all Southeast Asia, they have the biggest migration, or they have a population of more black people.
Okay. I can do with that. I don't really mess with Chinese chicks and Koreans like that, so
Hmm.
I can do with that. I'll tell you that, brother. I can do with that.
Hmm.
I tell brothers to avoid Chinese women in to the absolute T. Keep away from them. They ain't checking, and guess what? We ain't checking for them too. And
Yeah,
when it comes
they
down
ain't checking.
and when it comes down to looks, Japanese
Hmm.
women are the best looking East Asian women by far. It don't come close. So the fact that they like brothers and love brothers, I can do with that. I don't care about these
Hmm.
Chinese women. Keep away from me. So it's all good there, bro.
Hmm.
Shout out to Mr. Padigu Chung for the $2 super chat. Thank you, bro, for the support. When you say black, does that include indigenous?
So indigenous, what you mean the Aboriginals and all that type of stuff?
Yes.
Well, they don't live in big cities. I'll tell you the truth. They you barely man. I'd say I've probably seen. I literally can count with my fingers how many indigenous black people I've seen in Australia. Like they don't live in big cities. They live in like the state called Northern Territory, which is up there, and it's hot up there, and they stay there. That's why another stop. So they're more inland. They don't live in a big cities or most coastal side. They don't live there. But you do see some baddies, some beautiful Aboriginal girls, but they're mostly mixed. They're mixed race.
Okay. Wonderful.
Hmm.
Thank you, bro. I got a couple more super chats before we continue.
Mhm.
Shout out to Mr. Prodigal Chung again for the $2 super chat. Thank you for the support, bro. Much appreciated. Are the Pacific Islanders checking for brothers?
Yeah, they do. They do also.
Ooh,
They do. They do. They do. Because man, I'm telling you the truth. Pacific Islanders are the most loving people we have out here. We have a loving relationship with Pacific Islanders. It's like our brothers. They are brothers, man. We brothers and sisters. They love us. But some of them, but mostly the thing is that mostly Pacific Islanders, in terms of women, they prefer dating their own. Um, but if they are in big cities like Melbourne and Sydney, they're more open to date. Outside. Mostly, yeah, they can do black, they can do white, but most of them they still love sticking to their own race, which is I don't find is a bad thing. But they still show love. You know what I mean? They still
okay.
show love.
So you're
Um,
telling me in Australia there's a close connection between black people and Pacific Islander people. That's
yeah,
great,
because they
bro.
brown, they're brown, so they brown. So we have a close relationship. We will link. We got a loving relationship between those two.
Okay, that I like hearing that. Okay, I can work with that. And if the women are checking, that's even more
Hmm.
fantastic. Thank you, bro.
I
Shout out
know.
to go on, bro.
I was saying that there's a brother I know who's married to a Tongan girl. Beautiful. He's an African dude. He's married to a beautiful Tongan girl. There's a lot of that. A lot of that. A lot of those interracial marriages between islanders and black people. It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
Oh, is that across all of Australia or in Queensland or in Melbourne specifically?
Melbourne, Sydney, because that's where the biggest population of islanders and black people are. So there is that openness. Here in Queensland, yeah, you will get. I've messed around with some Pacific girls, Pacific Islander girls. I call them islanders here. We call them islanders here. So I mess around with some islander girls. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool.
Okay. How
Hmm.
do we spot an islander chick? Is there? I know that they have the brown skin. Do they have light
Hmm.
eyes, long black hair? Do they have curvy bodies? How do we spot them, bro? They're showing love to us. Obviously, we want to approach them, spit game to them. So how do we spot one? Because there's many brown people out there in Australia, brother.
You can easily identify a Pacific Islander, man. You can like literally see that this is a Pacific Islander, and they're pretty cool. They love hip hop. That's the thing. The only thing that they love hip hop. They resonate with us because they think they're black. They do think they're part of us. So, um, to be real, I'm gonna be real with you. They don't see. They will call themselves islanders and all that kind of stuff, but they do identify as black. Some of them are even blacker than us, but they have curly hair.
Oh,
So they
damn.
do resonate. Like I can tell you, my brother's married to a. She's half English, half her mother's British, and her father is Solomon Island, a little islands over there. So she got curly hair, brown skin, and all that kind of stuff. And they
Ooh.
do love brothers. So so they do love brothers. You can resonate. They do check out for brothers. So some of them they got a rule. They don't date white boys. They only date either black or they all date their own
What?
race.
Hold on, bro. Um, hold on. So is your brother is he also in Australia as well, and they live in Australia, both of them? I'm guessing she's
Oh no,
Australian, his wife.
her wife is Australian, but he moved back to America now. So he doesn't live here anymore. So I followed him because he first came out here first. And when I came for his wedding, and I was like, man, I think I need to, explore my options out here. And that's when I came out here. Already he was here, and he just recently moved back a year ago. So he moved back to America. So I'm still here. I'm the only one who's here out here by myself.
Okay. So
Hmm.
are Pacific Islanders and Aboriginals the same people?
They different. You can actually identify the difference. They're
Okay.
really different. There's a real difference. People you can't really identify is Fijians, Samoans, and a little bit of New Zealanders. You can't identify which is which because they have similar cultures, similar look, similar brown skin.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Let me look at the rest of the super chats.
Mhm.
Shout out to my boy Craig the tech guy for the $2 super chat. Thank you, Craig the tech guy, for the support. Appreciate the kind words. He says, "Keep up the great work, IP. I will continue doing so. Thank you for the kind words, Craig. Craig, appreciate you, bro. Welcome back, Mr. Intellect. I know you were upset you missed the stream yesterday for Germany, but you're here today, brother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Much love to you. You had me at Lebanese. Love some Middle Eastern woman. Yeah, but I'm surprised that these Middle Eastern women are checking for brothers heavy in Australia. Is it only the Lebanese women, brother, or are there Iranians, Saudi Arabians, Bahrainians that are also checking for brothers too in Australia?
It's only Lebanese. I think it's Lebanese, the Iranians, yeah, the Persians. It's hard to find that, but most of them they resonate with the white folks mostly. They don't dabble with the brothers. They don't want to like doing that. They just
But,
resonate with the white folks. So if they're dating, either dating their own or dating a white person.
but the Lebanese women, they're completely different.
They're totally different, man. If you go, the biggest population Lebanese is in Sydney. They checking out for brothers. I ain't gonna lie to you, my brother. They love brothers.
This is crazy. And there must be, okay, I know it's a culture thing as well, but Lebanese women, they're more closely aligned with in terms of like phenotype and skin color and eye color with white people. We're the complete opposites what they look like, Lebanese women. So I'm kind of perplexed as to why they love brothers so much in Sydney, these Lebanese women. It's crazy, bro.
I don't
Damn.
know, man. Even I have friends who have gone to actual Lebanon, and they're telling me, man, it was a fountain. It was a fountain. So it's quite interesting. I don't know what they love about brothers, but the other thing is that I would mention is that they love brothers. They do want to marry brothers. But the thing
Ooh.
you gotta be careful, because this is one thing you gotta be careful with people who migrate to the Western countries like this. They become Western as well too, so they don't really follow their religion and all that type of stuff. So some of them may be Muslim, but don't make sure that they're not safekeeping their gates. So you gotta be very careful too, because I know girls
Mm.
who have actually dealt with brothers, travel the world and mess around with brothers, all of old types and all that kind of stuff. Then when it comes to marriage, they want you to marry. And brothers will be like, hell nah, girl, I know you've been posted around. I know you've been around the block. And some of them, they want you to switch your religion to Muslim. So if you switch to Muslim, um, they will allow you to do that. But some of them, I know some of them that actually, I think I've said it on our Patreon, that I've heard some girls. I know some girl that was actually dealing with the brother. And then they wanted the brother to marry. And the brother said, nah, I'm not changing my religion. And I know you've been around the block. Then she ended
Damn.
up getting marrying a Lebanese guy. Then she was like, "Nah, man, I don't want this. I still want, I want the brothers." And she ended up cheating. And the
Yeah.
husband found out, and he got to find out the whole history what was going on behind closed doors, and the hate too. They created a little bit of hate between Lebanese guys
And we'll
and black person.
we will come to that, bro. We'll briefly touch on that. But if you want to hear the full story about that dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
that's only on the Patreon. But we will touch upon that briefly on the stream. But the full story
Mm-hmm.
will be on the Patreon. The Patreon is the hardcore intel. You can see the Patreon link is pinned to the live stream chat. Go and join the Patreon diamond tier to hear the CIA, KGB, FSB, Mossad level intel on the Patreon. Okay, I will never let you brothers down. So thank you, bro. Intellect.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. Riera Group for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. On my best behavior in the chat, shout out to IP. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, Mr. Riviera Group. Much love to you. Shout out to my brother. Welcome back, Chucky Luciano, for the $20 super chat. Where you been at, bro? I missed you, brother. Thank you so much for the support. That means a lot to me, brother. Thank you so much. Shout out to Chucky Luciano. He's back in the building. Thank you, brother.
Uh-huh.
So, my next question for you, brother, is: are Australian women good looking in the face and body wise?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've never seen so many beautiful women in the world, but I'm telling you, Australia has the most beautiful women.
Ah,
One of the most beautiful women, like all kinds. You can have the ones that came from Czech Republic. We call them a word called wogs. So they call themselves wogs. So wogs includes Italians, Czechoslovakians, Bosnians. There's other race too. That whole Eastern Europe, they call themselves wogs. They have the most beautiful Caucasian women ever here. And of course, we got the white Australians women. They look after themselves. They're gym addict. They're gym addiction. They have a gym addiction. They go to the gym or look slim. You barely see some big girls out here, man. Do see them, but you barely see some big girls out here. And they love the gym, and we got, of course, the Middle East women, absolutely beautiful. We got the Colombians, we got the Brazilians. Oh man, don't let me get into that. We got the mixed race girls. Man, we got all kinds of mixed race. We got mixed with black and Islanders. We got black with Filipino. We got black with mostly black with white. And cities like Melbourne, that's where you see Blasians, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And man, they're beautiful. I ain't gonna lie to you. They are beautiful women out here, man. Australia has one of the most beautiful women in the world.
So, brother, I've got 2 follow-up questions to that, brother. Okay. Are the WOG women and are the mixed race Blasian women checking for brothers?
Some of them, they got a suspicion. I gotta go deep into this. Allow me to. So this is what happens. When I mean that you got only 2 options, let me explain. So when I said you only got 2 options of a brother in my state, which is Queensland, they have a little thing. They want to explore having fun with brothers. But in actual dating, they don't want to. They always go back to either their race or dating any other race, except for black. So Bosnians and those WOGs women, they have because of this stereotypical thinking of, how we stereotyped. I won't go down into that, but us. Yeah. They want to explore what we can do with them, in a closed room. They want to explore that. They really want to explore those things. So some of them do have boyfriends, and they feel like, what, today, if I go out in the clubs, if I see a brother, stuff is going to happen. It could be your lucky day. They don't really check on brothers in terms of marriage. In terms of marriage, forget it. Their families will say no.
Okay.
So it's first their family, but in terms of fun, man, you could get some. Depends on the night.
Okay, interesting, brother. And that's in Queensland. Is that across all Australia, Melbourne, Sydney as well?
Across Australia, across all Australia. This one is across all Australia. Yeah.
What about the Blasians?
So Blasians, this is the thing with Blasians, they're more linked out. They'll either date a light-skinned brother, more mixed race. They'll either date a light skin or mixed race. Well, in America we call them light skin, but here we call them a mixed race. So they'll either deal with the other mixed race or they'll date a white person.
Can we touch upon the white Australian woman? I think we didn't go into that too deep. So we know the Middle Eastern women, yes, they check for brothers, but the white Australian women, we know that brothers get a lot of love from them. Are you experiencing that across the whole of Australia, or Melbourne and Sydney is where you get a lot of white Australian women love?
In my city, I have, of course, mostly the girls that will be checking you out are, of course, the Caucasian white Australians, the white Australians. They will be checking you out a lot. Though that's the only 2 options you got, is white or black. That's the only 2 options you got. Mixed race, no chance. They're looking for white boys. No chance in my city. Well, in my whole state, pretty much. Even Brisbane, it's the same thing. They will checking you out. And what I love about these white Australian girls, man, when they see a brother, man, they're not afraid to show the interest. They'll go to you. I'm telling you, most girls I've been with in this country, they have started me first. It's a given. But the thing is that I will explain. There's not many of them that do that. So you don't have as many of an abundance of options that you deal with. But if you go to Melbourne or Sydney, oh man, you are flooded with many of them.
And they're checking heavy, right, in Melbourne and Sydney.
They're checking heavy. As long as you look good, you know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you got things that, make you attractive. Fitness, of course. You look good, you dress good, you talk well, you're well presented. Yeah. You will get those ladies.
Thank you, bro. So give me your ranking, right, from 1 to 5 as to the best looking woman in Australia right now, from top to bottom, bro.
Ranking from beauty.
Yes, from most beautiful to least beautiful.
Okay, in
In
Australia,
terms of race, yes.
race. Okay, I would say Caucasian, white
What?
women. Yeah, Caucasian. I would say Caucasian women. Middle East number two. Number three, I'll rank this with the women that I find most attractive and who find me attractive too. You know, they love brothers.
Hmm.
So that's how I'm going to rank it. Caucasian, Middle East, um, Islanders, and what's another race? I'll put Latinas, but Latinas don't mess with brothers. I'm gonna be real with you. Latinas who come to Australia, they're not checking out for brothers. Don't even attempt. Even Brazilians, mostly Brazilian Colombians, they're not checking you out. They're looking for a passport. And the easiest to get a way to get a passport is through the white brothers. So don't try them. Don't try it. So I'll say Latinas and and the mixed race girls. Mixed race.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you, bro. So, next question for you, brother, is have you experienced any jealousy towards you from other groups of men in Australia and other brothers abroad that have also experienced jealousy towards them, maybe for dealing with the white women there, the Middle Eastern women there, etc., etc.?
Yeah, a lot of jealousies. Yeah, a lot of jealousy from the white brothers. Yeah,
Oh,
I know. Yeah, a lot of jealousy from white brothers. I know white brothers who even tell their women like, if you mess around with a black guy, you would never have a chance with a white man ever again.
what?
So yeah, so it happens. It happens a lot here. It's a lot of jealousy. They hate that. You can have those smirky comments of like, "Oh yeah, women out here they love black brothers. You know, they love black man." And like, you hear those kind of smirky comments, but they some of their ladies, some of their women actually are very. You're a little bit of a secret. You are kept a well kept secret. If they messed around with you, you're a well kept secret. No one will ever find out. Even her best friend will never know. So
Wow.
that's what you find. Yeah.
Okay, so why is it that the white boys are hating towards brothers in Australia?
And they kind of see like what happens in America. They look at what happens in America where it's like, man, there are so many NFL or football players or, whatever sport basketball players with these beautiful white women or whatever race they're dating. And they feel intimidated. It's an intimidation because we have potential of taking all the beautiful women from them. So I get it. It's a power dynamic thing. They don't want to lose that power because, of course, in all dating apps, they've been proven that Caucasian brothers are the most attractive, and most women swipe what is left, right, whatever it is, to Caucasian. So they take pride in that because they have so many options, and they do have so many options here. They have their own women. They've got Latinas. They've got Asian women. So they have abundance of options.
Wow. Awesome, brother.
Mhm.
Any other group of men hating against brothers when it comes to women?
Nah, that's the only one that really hates that sees us as competition. Other brothers, they don't care
What
at all.
What about the Lebanese men?
Yeah, they do hate. They do hate a little. Yeah, they do hate. If you go on the Patreon, you can listen to the story I spoke about what happened, incident that happened in Sydney. Um, they do hate. Oh, that's all I'll say. If you want to listen to the rest, you will listen on the Patreon thing.
Right, awesome, bro. Thank you for breaking that down. Okay,
Mhm.
so has it come to a point where a white boy tried to harm you or another brother for the attention we get from the woman out there?
No, 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 no.
Okay,
It hasn't happened like that. Um, I explained the story. Like, go back to the Patreon thing. That's what I'll say. But from the white brothers, nah, they hate is harmless in terms of physical harm, but it's only those threats would they intimidate their women that if they mess around with us, stuff like that. And their women obviously stay, you know, they will do what they do at the end of the day.
okay. So, but they're not squaring up to you. They're not coming up to you. Hey, keep away from our woman. Blah blah blah. They ain't doing that
No,
out
no,
there.
no.
Okay.
I've never had. So and the thing is also we have bikies. We have bikies here, which is like what can bikies. They're drug dealers, pretty much, out here. And most girls mess around with those kind of people, especially in my city. She either has a drug dealer ex-boyfriend, and those are girls you try to keep away for as far as possible because they might come and harm you. But it doesn't happen that much. It hasn't happened much. It's small incidents that do happen, but it hasn't happened a lot.
All right, awesome. Thank you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Next question for you, brother, is in Australia, brother,
Mm-hmm.
how easy is it to deal with different women at once? Let's say you have a main Australian chick, right? And you want to have another girlfriend or two other girlfriends. Will she accept that? Or is that not flying with her?
Nah, that's not flying. They only accept it if it's their own race who's doing that, especially if it's Caucasian women. They don't accept it if it's a white. It depends on your status too. You know what I mean? We don't have much of brothers out here who are that high status or high caliber of finances or rich, wealthy. We don't have that many. We don't even have many. You can literally count with your fingers those brothers that are like that. So it depends on your status, on where you are, and are you top 1% of men who are rich? They probably would accept it, but I've never seen a brother who's at that caliber who does that. But they're all high status who don't have money. That do that, but mostly Australian women. Australia is mostly it's a socialist country, so of course feminism is quite big in this country. So women do not do that. They don't accept kind of things like that. It depends on how high status you are as well too. They might share you with some dude, but also they're doing their own thing on the side too.
Yeah, we don't do that open relationship stuff. When
Yeah,
men and women are
no.
different. So men
Yeah,
can have
exactly.
different girlfriends, but women can't have different boyfriends. That's not the way the world runs originally. So let me ask this, brother. Is
Mm-hmm.
feminism a problem there amongst Australian women?
It's a big problem. It's a big problem. Big problem. Everybody's a feminist in this country, man. It's very tough. Like to find. That's why I said, um, you cannot wife an Australian girl. It's tough. Don't ever think about it. Don't ever think about it. It's the worst decision that you could ever make. It's hard to find a conservative Australian girl. I don't know if you watched on there was a recent girl, that Australian girl that actually she did a thing about feminism. She did like a TikTok or whatever, 15-minute reels or whatever. She did about feminism destroying and all that kind of stuff. And I went on her page and I said, "You are one in a billion women in Australia to ever come out and say that.
Was she
You are
white?
one in a." Yeah, she was white, and she came out with the reels. She was pretty popular in if you were the most guys here into the red pill thing. Um, she was pretty big, and she did like a thing, a feminist thing, and she was like, a she was speaking about feminism, just like feminism is a lie, it's a big lie, and all that kind of stuff. And she got a lot of heat from Australian radio shows and all that kind of stuff. Even a lot of hate. And I even went on our page and I wrote like, "You are one in a million billion Australian women to come on ever say that. You barely find any women who are anti-feminist in this
So let me
country.
ask this,
All
right?
of them
So
are."
is that is
Mhm.
that is that every race of women there that are feminists, including the Lebanese, the Asian? We can't. Are you telling me, brother, or is it is it mostly white women that are on that nonsense?
All of them. All of them,
Jesus.
no matter what race they are.
Oh, that's dangerous. That is
No
super
matter what race they
dangerous.
are. That's why I said when I said a statement before that in the beginning of the show, and I said it's very tough to date a woman who's migrated to a Western country, um, because it's really tough because there's always some Western ideology that has messed her up.
Wow.
And
Okay, bro.
and
Go
I'll
on.
say that, and I'll say this too. The conservative people I've only seen in this country, they stick to the values and maintain it, are Indian people. But
Okay.
Indian people, they stick to their own race mostly. If you see an Indian girl dating outside of a race, just know she's a feminist.
Oh, that's interesting, bro. So the most
Mm-hmm.
conservative people in Australia are the Indian people and the Indian women, but they mostly
Yeah,
keep to
Indian.
themselves.
Yeah, they stick to their own race. Either they're dating an Indian guy or they're dating an Indian guy, pretty much. So
Okay.
they don't. If you see her exploring options of white men or whatever it is, or black men, which they rarely do, it's they're feminists.
Okay. Thank you, bro,
Mm-hmm.
for breaking that down. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of body count, does the average Australian woman have a high body count, bro? And keep it real with me, brother. So, would you say finding a virgin and a low body count there is almost impossible?
It's impossible.
Oh, wow.
It's impossible, man. It's impossible. Like again, I'll if you want to hear a full details, go to the Patreon. But I'll just summarize it for PG on YouTube. Man, it's really hard. Man, I'm gonna tell you that you might find an 18-year-old girl who just finished high school in Australia that has a huge times two or times 10 the body count of a normal guy, a guy in his 30s.
Jesus. So every group of women there have a high body count. Middle Eastern, Asian,
Middle
white.
Eastern, Asian, white. You might find some of them who, this is the thing. There's a very small population of them that are really conservative in Middle Eastern. Them the Muslims, and they're very, 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 very conservative ones. But you rarely see them anyway. Too, they stay in the house or they go to own schools or where they are homeschooled. But in general, you barely find those with very small body counts. It's tough. It's not a discussion. It's not something that you need to even think, oh, like oh yeah, because she come from this background, she's gonna have a small body count. Nah, you'd be surprised that she probably has like 50, 20,
50.
or 50 or 100. 50, oh, man.
50 body count. Oh my goodness. Um, wow. So looks like brothers will probably get a bad deal there in Australia. Just go there to have fun. Don't look for a wife then. And that goes to my next question, brother. Are they wifeable, Australian women?
No,
No.
stay the hell away from them in terms of marriage. Don't even think about it. Don't
Why
even
not?
think
What?
about it, brothers. Don't even think about it. Because I think most of the guys that probably follow this, or most brothers, okay, let me just break the dynamics. As black people, no matter where you're from, you're American, you are African, you're from the UK, wherever you're from, you have a cultural background. We all black people were linked somehow with the culture. Even black people were slaves in America. They have a culture that they followed for many years. And it's something that it'll be detrimental for you to do that and fall into this Western ideology and say, oh, yeah, let me marry this person. So the other things that I say that the reason there's always the clash, number one is clash of culture. They don't understand black people. I'm going to be real with you. They don't understand black folks. No matter how they love us in this Western countries, they don't understand us. So that number one that you will fight about. Number two is, of course, their pasts and their Western ideologies and how they raise kids and all that kind of stuff. No, don't do that. Don't fall into that. Um, they have certain things they push. Like I can tell you, right, in preschools, there's LGBTQ, trans, whatever thing, flags are flowing around preschools now in Australia. Um, so they are heavily feminized. The feminism has really looted this country. So it's really hard for you to take an Australian girl seriously because there's always that back in mind that. So basically, what I'm saying is, if you're red pilled, stay away. But if you're not, do it. But you're gonna cry at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Do it, but you're gonna be in tears.
Wow. But make sure you say RP just so we can so each will
Mm-hmm.
come after
Mm-hmm.
that. What you say RP, bro? But this is crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't cook, they won't clean, and if I tell her, "Hey, baby girl, can you bathe and moisturize me?" She won't do that.
It depends on those kind of things she will do. But there's certain things that she wouldn't do. There's certain things that she wouldn't do. She'll be like, nah, I'm not doing that. Some of them even don't even know how to cook. Basically, don't even know how to cook. They cook yucky food, bro. They cook terrible food.
Wow.
Terrible food. Most of them don't even know how to cook, especially if they are white Australians. Duh, they don't even know how to cook, man. They don't cook good meals. But obviously if they come from other cultures like Middle East and all that kind of Asian, they know how to cook. They can cook meals. But white Australians, nah.
Wow, this is crazy, bro. This is some good intel. Brothers, if you want to find a wife in Australia, do not go there to find a wife. You're playing yourself. You're playing yourself big time. I was about to ask you, brother, if they're conservative there in Australia, but this like to me they're super liberal there in the
They
debauchery
they
department.
they're super liberal here. It's really hard to find a very conservative person out here, and because that's why I think I explained on the Patreon thing. Like feminism in here is like in America, there's extreme feminism and there's extreme conservative. So you can find a balance. You can find conservative women in America, which is the best thing ever. You can find conservative women in America. In Australia, they're liberal, so that means they are not as far feminists, but they're moderate feminists. And them being moderate feminists means that all of them are feminists. If you get in that sense, all of them have that feminist mindset.
Wow. Brothers, get the likes up, please, right now, brothers. If you have not liked the video, can you please hit the like button, show support, cash app, super chat, and at least hit the like button, likes are free, okay? Please show support to the channel, like the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, brothers. Let me ask this, brother. So, have you dealt with rich women out there in Australia, and can you find rich women there?
Which women?
Yes, rich women.
Yeah, you can find a lot of them. You can find a lot of rich women here, man. A lot of rich women.
Have you dealt with some that were rich?
Yeah, I've dealt with some really rich women, like really rich, old and rich too. They don't have husbands, or some of them do have husbands, and I've never dealt with anyone's wife, anyway, by the way. But I've had friends who have actually dealt with people's wives.
Jesus, wow.
They're rich, millionaires.
Are they mostly white women, or?
Yeah, mostly. Like in my city, most of the girls you're getting is white. It's either white or black. There's no in between. If she's in any other race, just know that she's more inclined to dating white men.
So the rich women in Australia are mostly white, okay? Are they checking for brothers?
For fun, yeah. For fun, most definitely, yeah. Depends on the night. But the oldest they are, what I've seen is the older they get, the more curious they are become in exploring brothers. Because you know how we stereotyped, I'm not going down deep into that, but yeah, you know how we stereotype. So they want to explore that.
Brother, in terms of religion, what religion is practiced out there? Are they mostly atheists there? If they're not atheists, what religion would they be?
Mostly atheists, the atheist folks, Christians, but I don't know, they're liberal Christians, where they do whatever. End of the day, they still go to church. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. They're Christians and Muslims, but mostly atheists. Yeah.
Okay, brother. This is good. This is some good intel. Shout out to Prodigal Chung for the $2 super chat. My rescue all for Michelle Janike. Look her up. Do you know who that is, bro? Who's that? Michelle Janike. Let me see.
Let me check her out too.
Let me see. I'm gonna pass on that, bro. She is not my type. Bro.
Yeah, I don't even know her too, man. Nah, I'll pass.
Bro. She's too muscly, too tall. I'm gonna pass on that, bro. Nah, bro. She is not my type. Nah, bro. This is too much for me, bro.
I think she's from Sydney. Oh no.
I'm gonna pass on that, bro.
Yeah, if they're popular like this, man, just know that they're feminists, super feminists. Like, it's tough. They're super feminist. Even for a hookup, like, bro, you'd be annoyed by what you be talking about. You're like, yeah, it's really tough when you're dating girls like this, man.
Damn.
It's really tough to tolerate the feminist side of it. It's really tough. You get annoyed real quick.
Yeah, I think brothers shouldn't live there. I think it's a holiday. Go there for holiday. Don't live there, in my opinion. But Rashawn can rebut me later on down the stream. So next question.
Yeah. I'll go down on that. If you come here, man, and you just want to focus in making money, and go back where you came from, it's a very good place. I know people who have come here, made millions because there's opportunity to make millions. Not millions per se, but you can make very good money that you can take and invest in another country. Because you're heavily taxed here if you make a lot of money. So it's a socialist country, of course. So it's really hard for you to make millions. Even millionaires, Australian millionaires, their companies are all international. Uh,
Yeah.
so so it's if you come here, make your money, save up, and take that money wherever and invest. Best opportunity. But living here, like I agree with you, bro. Don't think about living here forever. Don't even think about it.
Thank you, bro.
Mhm.
Next question for you, brother, is social media a problem there in Australia?
A huge problem. Huge problem.
Tell us why.
Every girl here is heavily influenced by social media. Heavily influenced. The stuff that you probably don't want in a girlfriend, the bikini photos, sometimes she's taking a photo of covering a body or covering her boobs and all those kind of stuff. The bikini photos or the half naked photos, they post that stuff, and it's something that they heavily influenced by social media. I can tell you right now, so many 18-year-old girls joined OnlyFans just straight out of high school.
Wow.
So many of them joined high. So many of them. And so many of them still now, they coming out of high school straight going to OnlyFans and making millions too, making millions of dollars.
Wow. This is crazy. This might be a worse country than America. Um, so next question for you, brother, is online dating. Has that been successful for you? If so, what apps do you recommend? What type of woman give you most play on the online dating scene? Break it down for me, brother.
Well, like I said, most of the women I get play from is of course white Australian women, because of the state location. But if it's a girl that I've hooked up with or I've been with from another race, it's either if she's from Melbourne or Sydney, and she's come into my city or I've been in their city.
Okay.
That's
What
where,
apps do you
yeah.
use?
And I haven't really, so me, I bumped into this RP stuff the minute I got here. So, and my brother was here before me, so he gave me a little bit of game before I got into the streets. He's like, avoid this, avoid that, avoid that, avoid this, avoid that.
Okay, so you don't use any
Um,
apps at all.
so I don't use that. I've used Tinder a bit. I don't use it. It's terrible actually because most of the guys I know that use dating apps, they're saying that they, especially as a brother, as a black brother, they're having the worst experience. Um, you have more, a little bit of game. You have more chances with a code approach than on dating apps.
Okay, thank you,
That's
bro.
that. Yeah. So you have more chance on in the, with the code approach than actually in on dating apps. So if you come to this country, man, just be out there. Just go to the clubs and all the everything. You come to visit here, man. Oh man, go to the clubs straight up. Go to the clubs. There, you definitely find something there. Go
Okay,
to the
thank you.
clubs or roam around the beach or whatever it is. You will find something.
All right, thank you, bro. Um,
Hmm.
would you say that they're submissive Australian women, or
Nope.
they're not? Or
It's a quick answer. No, no. So no. I think I've said it before, man. It's a country that is feminist. High feminism has lured this country. It's highly feminist, so it's hard for you to find a woman who's submissive. No,
this
it's
is
hard.
this is sad.
Even even if the religious girls, Christians, worse, even worse.
The worst. Why are they the worst, bro? The Christian girls there.
Because they have the now in Christianity there's now what they call liberal Christians and all that kind of stuff. They push feminism to the max, um, and they're even worse. So they're liberal Christians. They're not conservative Christians.
Wow.
And
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm seeing a brother right there who just wrote a chat, a comment, and say that where America is worse. Nah, bro, America is actually better than this place. It's actually better. The good thing is about America is there's extreme feminists and there's conservative women, and there's a good number of conservative women in America. In
Mm,
Australia, there's none. You will find one in a million. That only girl that I explained that did a TikTok or reel, whatever she condemned feminism. That's the only one. The rest of them, they are lured into it. So it's hard. In America, there's at least there is a great number of conservative women, and especially in the countryside. You can go to
yeah.
in the countryside of Texas, or be it Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia. You can find really conservative women. Here, man, it's also because all of the population of people live in big cities, and even those who live in the countryside, they're exposed to everything.
Facts.
I can even tell you, like, even feminism is even worse in the countryside of Australia.
What? How? In the
That's where the
countryside?
biggest hoes are. They're the biggest whores are, bro.
Oh,
The
wow.
biggest, they're the biggest girls that you think the worst, the sluts that you don't want in the countryside.
This
Because they
is
are in mining towns. Like, I can tell you right now, I got a friend of mine who lives in a mining town, and works in the mines. And that's where most men make a lot of money. And I'm telling you, they're like, man, girls over there are wild. They mess around with the guys in working the mines, because they have a lot of money. If you work in a mine in Australia, you're making really good money. You probably 100K more a year. So they
wow.
mess around with those guys. And they're telling me, man, they're the biggest 304s, man.
This is wild, man. Even the
Mm-hmm.
countryside as wholes, normally they're a bit more, pleasant than the city girls, but that's not a good thing. That's terrible. Jeez. And I do agree that, at least in America you have conservative women there. You have Candace Owens, you have all these people that have conservative values, but you can't find the Australian equivalent of Candace Owens in Australia. That would be very rare.
You will
Hold on, bro.
never.
But
Yeah.
but there's many Candace Owenses in America. So that's the difference there, in my opinion. You know,
You 100% right, bro. You're 100% right. It's hard to find a Candace Owen in Australia. Hard, really hard. You can't seem to find one. It's either them or heavily influenced. Like, even there's a funny thing about Australia, like the abortion thing that happened in America, law that happened in America. Imagine they were protesting here in Australia about it, in Melbourne.
what? They're not
Go
even
online.
American.
Yeah, they're not even American. Like, honestly, even when they sit down and ask me, bro, like, I'll be like, yo, man, what happens in America is none of your business. You in your country, you allow it. So I don't know why you trying to bring out this issue. Like, it's none of your damn business. They were protesting it in Melbourne. Go check this on YouTube, right? There's a video of guys who are actually this guy who actually lives in Melbourne, and he interviews people asking these controversial questions and all that kind of stuff. And he was at one of the marches, and I'm like, yo, you're not American. Not American at all. Why are you doing that? So
Damn.
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. His facts, man. Australian women, they are uncontrollable. I've dealt with quite a few. They're
Mhm.
not wife one. You can't control them. They're literally women that if you want to find a wife, do not wife up an Australian woman. As soon as you hear the
At
accent, have
all.
your fun with her. After that, let her go back to the streets. She goes. So next
Mhm.
question for you, brother, is what clubs and bars would you recommend brothers to go to? Names to get women for the night, or women that could be girlfriend material, but obviously we know they have a high body count. Easy to pull women. Can you give us some names, brother, in your city, or in Sydney or Melbourne, if you can, bro?
Okay. So first and foremost, I gotta say this: if you're
Hold on, bro.
looking
Hold
for a
on, bro.
relation,
Hold on, bro. And what kind of woman will you find at these places? But carry on, brother.
mhm. So first and foremost, if there's no girlfriend you're gonna find in the club, just know that she goes out. She's one of those. She's swinging it everywhere. she's giving it everywhere. Just know that. So if you want to have a girl that you messing around with for quite a while, or um, for a little bit of time, messing around with for long time, for a month or 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. Clubs like in my city, there's a club called Sin City. There's a club that is called Bedroom Lounge. There's another one, hip hop club that's called forgetting the name. What's the name? Havana. It's called Havana. That's where mostly hip hop played in there. So if you want to, but this club is a bit dangerous because you're seeing girls that are pretty young, 18, very young girls. So stay away from those because they will meet to you quick. Don't stay away from any girl that's 20 and below. They'll meet to you. Stay away. Stay away. But if you're, I'm presuming that most of the guys who consume this content are between the age of about 25 or 23 going up 30, whatever it is. Go to what they call bars. They call them pubs over here. Go to bars. That's where mostly you will find good girls that you can, have fun with. Bars and pubs. They call them pubs over here. So that's where you can get a bit of action.
So,
And
brother,
restaurants too. Yeah.
so brother, you restaurants. How would you make a girl at a restaurant? Because obviously they're having dinner with their friends, or do you mean like
Yeah.
lounges,
Yeah,
or
they call them lounges, but here we call them restaurants, pretty much. Yeah, lounges. Yeah, where they having, or the Middle East lounges where they just smoking some what they call them
shisha?
yeah, shisha. Yeah, they call them shishas. Yeah, so they smoking shisha and all that kind of stuff. They're pretty big out here. So you can go in those kinds of pubs, or bars, whatever you call it, bars, restaurants where it's more like a lounge and they're hanging out there. Avoid the clubs, especially in my city, because you're seeing girls around 18 to 19 and they will meet to you quick. So you try to avoid that as soon as possible. Don't do that.
So, but brother, 18, 19, 20, that's legal.
Yeah,
Um,
illegal in Australia. Yeah. In
yeah,
America, it's
legal.
21.
Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, illegal. Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah,
makes
they're
sense.
legal. They're legal. They're allowed to get into the clubs. If you go to the Patreon, I explained the whole 18, what they do and all that kind of stuff. What they do, how they have this initiation kind of thing they do in my city, where they are introduced to the clubs and all that kind of, they get in for free. The minute they finish high school, they introduced to the clubs, drugs, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Um,
So basically, right,
uh, mhm.
it's illegal for 18, 19, 20s to be in the club. You have to be 21
It's
in Australia.
no, it's legal.
Okay, so but
It's legal. It's allowed.
why should we avoid those kind of women who are, 19,
It's all
20,
about it's
21?
yeah.
Because they're
So
legal,
it's all
right?
about the legal, but maturity wise, it's like maturity wise, they're not mature enough
I
in the
see.
brains. They're not. Yeah. So in their minds, they are dealing with an older guy. It could mess you up. It could mess you up.
Yeah,
If you know
friends,
what I'm.
feminism. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
feminism,
sense.
and they will me to you. Like I said, they will me to you. She might have fun with you, and the next minute she will regret it, and you are in trouble. So you try to avoid girls like that because they're still young. The guys they're probably dealing with are the guys their own age.
I see. Right,
Yeah,
thank you,
so
bro.
you try to avoid that. Yeah.
So next question for you, brother, is where are the best places to meet women in Australia, in your opinion, brother? Would it be, the park? Would it be the library? Would it be, certain places that you have more success with? Break it down for us, bro.
In my city, the best place to find girls is shopping malls and the gym and social circles as well too. Mess around with people who are really good, and we have a casino here. We have this what we call the Star Casino. That's a very good place. I forgot to mention that place. It's one of the best places you can meet girls because one, they're still sober. They're not heavily influenced by drugs. It's a place that's pretty quiet, and you can have an interaction and have a good conversation with girls. You met high quality women. I'm talking about beautiful status, pretty women. That's a really good place. That's where people party the most.
Okay.
Beat the Star in Sydney, the Star in Brisbane, the Star in Melbourne, the Star in casino places, a casino. Even in here in my city, Gold Coast, yeah, the casino is the best place you can find better quality women.
Okay. You mentioned the gym. So you're telling me you can actually cold approach a chick in the gym and there won't be any weird vibes. She will speak to you, or she might cold approach you. It's okay to actually mingle in the gym.
Um, it's better like it's not. Yeah, I should be checking you out. I'm gonna be real with you. An Australian girl, if she's into you, man, the signs will be so clear.
Like what? What signs?
She will be checking you out. She will come and ask you stupid questions, start asking you questions, especially if you're British or American. And here's the accent. Oh my God, where you from? All that kind of stuff. They will come and try to interrupt with you. So they make it kind of easy for you to approach. But even if a girl has not checked you out, there are signs that she will do that you might make you get or approach. Or even if she's not, you might actually see how she or you can use the warm approach kind of thing, where it's like you've seen her in the gym a couple of times, you've met smirky smiles at each other and all that kind of stuff. Then you can approach.
Okay. When she's also giving you choosing signals, is she looking at you for a long time, then looking away? Is she smiling at you in the
Yeah.
gym?
So
Okay.
here in Australia, a courtesy of like everybody that if you make direct contact with somebody, you have to smile. It's a way of greeting somebody. So every
Interesting.
person you see, you make a smile, little smile, and that's greeting. That's a way of greeting. So if that happens more than once, twice, then yeah, there's a little bit. You might sense there's a little bit of interest. You know what I mean?
Awesome, brother. And have you
Hmm.
ever, met some woman in the gym that and you've taken it further with them?
Yeah, yeah. This one girl that because in my place we have our own private gym and all that kind of stuff. So I messed around with one of the girls that live in my area.
Awesome. Was she white?
Yeah, yeah, white.
Of course she was.
Hmm.
All right. Next question for you, brother, is the
Hmm.
STI, STD rates there. I think we touched upon that very deeply in the Patreon, but do you
Yeah,
want to give us a
yeah,
summary? Is it
yeah.
bad out there?
Pretty chlamydia is pretty bad here. If you go to the clinic, the most people you're seeing there is women, especially if you are in the nightlife. If you go out a lot, then mostly you will catch something. So you
Damn.
need to be really careful. Really, really careful when you're going out and messing around with girls. Always strap up. And Australian girls don't like using protection. So you gotta be extremely cautious of you when you're dealing with them. So
Facts.
you gotta strap up too. So chlamydia is the one that normally hits here in Australia. Then of course there was cases of like
Yeah,
uh
brother. And then I think that's enough now. It's all on the Patreon, bro. So,
yeah,
brothers,
so the Patreon, yeah.
here on the Patreon, brother, we went really deep into it. I don't want to touch upon that too much. But
Mm-hmm,
brothers, I would say whenever you smash a chick right now, I think you both got to get tested. Okay.
mm-hmm,
You tell her, can we get tested together? If she says no, if she hesitates, she's through the streets. Cut it off
mm-hmm.
immediately. You have to be on that time right now. Don't let your DICK lead your brain, brothers. Okay.
Facts.
Your prerogative must be okay before we get very intimate. Gotta get tested. And any chick that's against being tested to me is a fool, and that's a red flag there, brothers. Okay, so I'm doing it for your safety, brothers. I want you brothers to live great lives working in IT, traveling in the world, and not be sick. Okay, so please tell your chicks to get tested. Very important. So let me read these super chats real quick, bro. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Mr. Visionary for the $199 super chat. I appreciate you, Visionary, for the support. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Visionary again for the $499 super chat. I dated two Australian women who was on holiday visiting New York, and they definitely not wifey type. They look up to Kim K out there. Oh man, is that true, bro?
Huh.
Is Kim K that big in Australia?
Yeah, yeah, they love Kim K, man. They love their
Oh,
whole the Kardashian family. They love those clowns. So don't. They heavily influenced by Hollywood, man. Like for real, like they love that life in America. They love it. They admire it. They think that's the life for them. Especially the pretty girls. Oh man, they're even worse. So don't. Yeah, like he's 100% right. Don't wife them at all.
Mm,
You want to live a happy life? Don't do it.
facts, bro. I wouldn't wife up. Thank you, visionary. I wouldn't wife up any chick in the West, to be honest. I
True.
think, I mean, there are some good girls here and there, but majority, you got to vet her very, very well. Okay. And I just feel like it's not worth it marrying a chick from America, UK, Australia. I keep away from them, brothers. Like I said, no dating, no marrying, and no smashing Western chicks anymore. Next question for you, brother, is are Australian women materialistic? Do they want a Gucci bag, Prada bag, a Miri bag, a Armani bag, etc., etc.?
The fake ones, yeah. You will see him with the fake ones. You will see him with a lot of fake ones, though. You will see that they see a lot of them with the fake ones, yeah. Especially in my city where it's like it's heavy with the druggies, the man. I'm already speaking Australian twangs right here, but um like heavy with they date like most guys who do drugs, like the drug dealers and stuff like that. That's where you see girls with the Gucci bags, or they do OnlyFans, and you see with the real Gucci bags. They're heavy into that life, like in their life. They're really heavy in that life. So you barely find a girl that doesn't have that. It's always the vape on the left hand and that fake Gucci bag on the right, or Louis bag on the on the right. It's a
Ah,
combination. Yeah.
did I
So
hear vapes? I'm guessing there's smoke a lot out there, huh?
a lot of vapes here, man. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted by girls who smoke vapes, so I don't dare. That's why I don't go out no much. I don't even go out that much.
Yo, there's a huge decadence there in Australia, I'll tell you that. Smoking, being fonts, everything. That's a country that literally demons reside there. I'll keep it very PG. Demons are in that country, big time.
Demons, man. Demons for real.
Demons, crazy. Um, Let me ask just now, bro. So
Hmm.
far, I've heard bad things about them. Can you tell
Hmm.
me any good things about Australian women that can redeem them at the very least?
Man, whatever I've said is nothing. That's something that you cannot ignore. It's not you something that you can never ignore. I'll be real with you. The women I've seen that are wifeable here are either married. They're married at all, or they're married already. They're already taken. They're already swooped up. And guys who I've said this before. Guys who are red pill here or RP. I'll say RP. That are RP here, in terms of their mindset and everything. They're married to Asian women. They're married to Filipinos, Indonesians, Chinese. That's the women they marry.
Hmm.
There's a Caucasian man. There's a white man who don't think that white women are marriable too. Or even they were married and got divorced, and they said never again. And they went and found a woman in Indonesia or Philippines.
Facts. This is oh man, this is so nothing good about them, bro. This is shocking. They can't cook, not submissive, they're not feminine. Are they at least kind, bro? Kind and
Yeah,
bubbly.
yeah, they're kind. Yeah, they are kind. They're not as mean as some feminist American women. They're not like that. They're not as like that. Some of them they have a little bit of humble. They have a bit of humble to them. But just know, man, what do go down in the background, man, is tough. It's something that you cannot ignore. You can't just
Damn.
sit down and ignore it. No, you can't do it because it's something that will you end up divorced, or you find out she's messed around with one of your boys, and there's a lot of in one thing I gotta say about Australian men, their friendships are weird, man. You will hear your friend hooked up with your girl, or there's no loyalty, man. There's no loyalty or brotherhood. That strong brotherhood. And the
What,
sad thing is that
hold on, bro. Is that amongst black men in Australia?
not black men, not black men. Mostly the Caucasian brothers.
Okay, Karen, bro.
Mhm. Even black men too, like even black men who deal with black women only, because obviously I'm gonna tell you this: black men who are in this country are so frustrated that most of them they say, you know what, it's better for us to share our black sisters than to be messing around with these women that don't want us.
Sharing the same girl? Come on,
They
man.
share it.
Ugh.
I said it. Yeah, I said it on the beginning of about the stream there, that the options that other brothers have is girls, black girls, and they're all sharing these girls.
Oh, nasty. Damn. This is eye opening.
It is,
You see,
man.
you see how different it is living there and actually going on a holiday, and that's why, brothers, on my channel, I give you brothers nothing but the whole truth. So by my videos by now, you can tell that I'm not capping at all. All right, I don't cap on this channel. I give you brothers the hardcore, 100% facts. So please support me, support my journey to give you brothers the real facts when you go out there. Cash App, super chats, and like the video as well, brothers. Can we please get the likes up? That'd be greatly appreciated. Show me love, man. Okay, show me love to the channel, because I'm giving you brothers intel that only Joe Biden knows about, man. Only Bill Clinton and Donald Trump know about, brothers. Okay, only George Bush will know about this stuff. So please support me, man. Next question for you, brother, is code approaching. Break down to me the dynamics of code approaching there in Australia. Do women code approach you? If so, is it mostly white women that code approach you, vice versa, or do you code approach women? How do you code approach them? And is it acceptable to code approach women in Australia without them calling you crazy or calling the police on you?
It doesn't get to that extreme though, because here, you kind of sense it. You gotta, the warning signs will be there before you even approach. So I'll start with the first question you was asked. So in Australia, like girls, most of the time, the most success you have as a brother is when women actually come to you. Then, of course, there will be girls that you will have success with. Of course, if you code approach, it's a numbers game. Of course, it's a numbers game. You will actually gain. You will get out of 10. You will get 1 or 2 with your code approach. You approaching them, but them approaching you, of course, is most success, wherever you are. So here in Australia, my experience is more girls that I've actually had more success with is them initiating to me. They'll see me, or we just bump into them, and I start talking to them. I'm like, "Oh yeah, your accent. You South Australian." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm not from here." Stuff like that. Then boom, I get a girl. And I saw somebody saying that Australian women hate American men. No, they love American men. The minute they hear the accent, it's a given. Even British guys, they love British guys too. They love the drill music. Ugh, they love it. They love it. They can actually talk of a whole talk about the Stormzy. Is it Stormzy?
Stormzy.
Yeah, they love that. They love that music. They love that. The minute they hear a different accent from Australia, they love it. They love it. So you will have success from your accent, and also they approach you. They approach you the minute they hear that and they find that you're kind of interesting and that kind of stuff. They will approach you. And sometimes when you approach them, like I did say in my city, I did say this in the Patreon as well too. I said in my city, especially in Brisbane, there will be girls that you approach and they actually feel like they'll be frightened of you. There's that fear thing. Like when you approach, hey, how you doing? She'll be like, oh, she'll be up close and feel like you're about to endanger her. Walk away. Don't force any conversation from them. Just walk away. You will find those kind of people. That's why I said it's really hard dating here, because here the population is so, like, of course, it's mostly white people who live in my state, that sometimes some girls will act weird talking to it. Like in my city, I can tell you, and not in my city, pretty much in my state, Queensland, like Brisbane, in a city called Brisbane, there are people who have never ever had a conversation with a black person. So when you try to initiate those type of things, it's weird to them. It's weird. Actually, they feel like their lives are in danger. So there is that kind of element of where women will not call, they don't initially call the police. They will probably call the police on you if you become too persuasive. That's when they would like call the police. But if it's like, she will become uptight if you cold approach her. Like
Wow.
her life is in danger. So you need to read those warning signs. That's why I'm saying like warm approach and code approach where the girl's actually initiating is the best success for most black guys in this country.
Would you say when they cold approach you, those women are not really wifeable? You know, there's a woman that,
They're
you
not. They're
know,
not even wifeable at
in
all.
general,
Run
yeah.
away. Run away. Just know that when she does that, she has done that to millions of guys.
Ah, run away, run away, run away. Dun, 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 dun. I'm holding on desperately.
Yeah.
This is crazy, bro. Shout out to J. Cole, man. Great song. Um, so let me ask this, brother.
Hmm.
How do you cold approach chicks in Australia? Is it simple, hey, you look great? I like the way you look. Are you free for coffee tomorrow? What's your method of cold approaching, brother?
So the best thing I'll say that it's in Australia, like you need to start with approach. Don't just go with a hey. Women don't like a hey. Unless you're the like you look like what? You look
Idris
like
Elba.
the yeah, not even need yourself, but like you look like the most handsome dude ever in the world. Um so then yeah, then the hey would work. But they need to see a little bit of charisma out of you, especially if you're something that they have not been with before. A white guy can get away with the hate, but as a black guy,
So,
you need to bring a little bit of charisma,
like
a
what,
little bit
bro?
of charisma. So let me give you an example. Let's say you meet a girl and you just make a joke. Oh, like hey, simple like hey, you look cute as I am. And she'll like she make a little laugh. Then you start a conversation or start talking about what's happening with her in that situation.
But
But a
that's
simple,
you. But that's
mm-hmm,
you knowing her, brother. Let's say you're walking down the street and a
mm-hmm.
beautiful girl is walking towards you, or she walks past you, and you turn back. Oh, she's cute. I want to approach her. What's the first word you say? Would it not be hey, hi, or you just tap her like, hey, blah blah blah? How'd you do it, bro?
Yes, yeah. You in that instance, you can go away with the hey. You can go like, hey, I just want to have a conversation. You're a pretty girl. Um, my name is this and this and that. Um, what do you do around here and stuff like that? Then you can go away with that. So you can get away with that.
Okay,
So
interesting.
yeah, so you can get away with that. If you can meet a girl in a shopping mall, you might tap her like, hey, how you doing? Just looking for some friends out here. What's going on? How you doing? And most girls, if you do that, what I like about Australian girls, if you just initiate that thing that breaks the ice, she takes over the conversation. She's the one who's now asking you the questions, like a first date type of thing. It's like you shut up and let her talk.
Okay,
So
interesting,
so
bro.
that we are her in her talking. So you do things that actually just break the ice. Hey, how you doing? Oh, nice to meet you. And one thing that's good about us is the thing is that my brothers is that they'll hear that there's no black guy in Australia who has an Australian accent. Most definitely, rarely rare. And there are some who do, but she will hear the pick up the accent. And the accent she'll be like, oh really? Your accent is different. Where you from? Then that's where you break the ice. Oh no, I'm from the UK or I'm from Canada or I'm from the from America and all that kind of stuff. Oh, whereabouts in America? Oh, well, I come from Dallas or I come from New York or I come from California, and they'll be like, oh, really? I want to go to Australia. I really want to go to America and all that kind of stuff. They love America. All of them in their head, they always want to go to America. In the two states they want to go to is New York and California.
LA.
They want to go there. Yeah, they want
Ah,
to go to the
that
city. Yeah,
that
so
sounds
that
good
they
still.
want, so
Go
that
on.
breaks the ice, and then that's initiates a conversation. Anyway, like, hey, I think we should have some drink sometime. What do you think? Oh yeah, cool. Let me grab your number, or let me grab your Instagram and stuff like that. Exchange details. Message her the next day. Let's link up. And she says yes or no. Some flake. It is what it is. Um, so that's how you break the ice. So make sure the conversation that you're having or the things that you're going to say in the first two sentences or three is breaking the ice, that she leads she doesn't lead the conversation, but she does ask you a lot of questions. She wants to know you.
Okay, brother. Let me ask this right.
Mhm.
Um, is coffee dates enough, or you go to out to dinner? And who
Man,
pays? Is it 50-50, or do you pay
most
for
girls, they
stuff,
like,
and where'd you go to?
one thing I gotta say, I know a lot of guys, and they will say that, oh yeah, you gotta pay for dinner, and oh yeah, of course you gotta lead as a man, pay for dinner and stuff like that. But one of the things I've seen for Western countries, if a girl, you want to see how interested a girl is in Western countries, she pays for things for you. She does things for you. She pays for things. She buys you stuff and all that kind of stuff. You want to see the high interest in the ladies. Of course, the first date, let her, you the one who pay. Don't pay 50-50.
Okay.
You pay. Then if you go to a bar, some of the girls will like, hey man, first round is on me, or first round is on you. You buy the drinks, and she'll be like, hey, let me buy you a drink, and stuff like that. So you pay, and Australian girls, stay simple, stay simple. And if you're a rich guy who has money, try to act like you don't have money. Not try to act like you don't have money, but be like a normal person. Just be normal. Because the simple things get you far. That's how you
Very,
see a woman is really interested in you. It's like the simple things. Hey man, don't say I want to take you for dinner in this expensive restaurant, and like save that for the fifth, seventh date, or if you want to marry, if you want to wife her. Don't ever take her to some expensive place. That's stupid. I call it stupid. Take her to a simple place. Hey, let's meet at a bar, a pub, per se.
what
Let's meet
about
up.
coffee dates? Is that okay? Coffee.
Coffee date. Take her there. Let's grab a coffee, or let's have a gym date. Let's go to the gym. Or she looks like, oh, you buff? Oh yeah, you work out? Oh, really? I see those sweatpants you wearing. Oh, you work out? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's work out together sometime. And she'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Let's link up at this gym. I'll go to my gym. I'll get you in for free. I always get a pass for one person a week to get in for free. So you can come through. Oh, yeah, cool. Let's meet at this gym and we'll work out together. Cool. Simple than that. After that, let's go for a drink. Let's go grab a drink. Let's go for a milkshake. Let's go for something like that. That could be a first date. Stay simple as possible. Meet at a bar, mostly bars. Go to bars, the pubs. They always got crazy pizzas and all that kind of stuff you can grab, with drinks, cocktails, and all that kind of stuff. Don't go to expensive stuff. Don't go to the restaurants where you're paying a $200 bill for nah. That's the good thing about Australian women. A very small cheap date can get you far.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Next question for you, brother, is you mentioned how, they're taking, or what's it called? How do I rephrase this, bro? The white dudes there, if they want a wife, if they're RP, they're marrying Indonesians, Filipinas, Thai. Are they going to those countries to meet those wives, or are they meeting those women there in Australia?
They actually meet. Some of them, they meet them here, but some of them, they actually go there. They all go there and find wives.
So you're telling me, brother, if a brother wants to find a wife in Australia, his best bet is the Filipinas, the Indonesians, etc., etc.
Yeah, go to the countries because you have more chances of getting them there.
Very true.
And one thing I gotta say too is that, man, don't bring them to the first world. Don't bring them out here, bro. Don't let her come for a holiday. Let her come for a holiday. Don't bring them here because she will change. She will definitely change. Because this place, I don't know, man. I call it the first world is a demon. Like I said, it's the first world. The Western countries are demons, and in a sense where that people come here and change. I don't know what happens. They don't stick to their morals and values when they come out here. They change. So don't bring them out here. Don't bring them out here. Let her stay there, or move her to another country where there's less feminism, where she can have a big house or whatever, or let her stay in the Philippines and build her a big mansion over there or whatever it is. Let her live comfortable there, and you probably come here back and forth.
Very true. Yep, I agree with that, bro. Next question for you, brother, is how should men dress out there in Australia? Do we come through wearing 4XL white tees, Sean John jeans, Echo coats, Timberland boots, snapback, New York Jet snapback, gold teeth, gold chain, red bandana, blue bandana? Or do we come through clean cut, elegant, wearing a suit, wearing some dress shoes, a nice t-shirt? How do we come dressed out there, bro?
I'll say that
To get women, obviously.
obviously it depends on what type of woman you're looking at. Or if you're looking at the roughy, scrappy ones, yeah, man, you can go out with jeans and all that kind of stuff. Then if you're looking for more classy women, then a more clean cut look, casual look, where you're wearing jeans and a nice white shirt or whatever shirt you're wearing, or t-shirt, nice shoes and all that kind of stuff, then you can get the classy women. If you're looking for the scrappy ones, yeah, man, like I'm telling you, man, in Australia is a place where you get angry, you will get mad, because you will see some scrapping looking dude with a baddie, with a beautiful girl, and he's scruffy. He probably has shoes that smell and they're dirty. You know those dirty white forces?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that is a trend out of here, man. Even for guys, dirty white forces, man. He will see him with a baddie, with a beautiful girl, and that
Ah,
girl is looking super clean.
and he's white,
So,
huh? He's a white dude,
yeah, of
isn't he?
course, he's a white
Ah,
dude, of
there you
course.
go.
Mm.
Ah,
And everybody in the chat thinking we're hating on white. We're not hating, man. Man, kudos to them. They got all the options, but we're saying things that work for us. We gotta be clean. We gotta be extra. We need to put in extra work for us to, get what we want. It is what it is.
facts.
It is
Thank
what
you.
it is.
Go on, bro.
Yeah. So it is what it is. We just telling you things that work for us. You need to be clean cut. Make sure you have a clean cut. If you have braids, whatever you have in your hair, like long hair and stuff like that, make sure it looks clean. Nice shave, nice things. You smell good. Stand out a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you, bro.
Mhm.
Nightlife in general, is that pretty crazy there? The music, the vibes there, the nightlife.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It depends on what type you like. But mostly in my city, obviously, the clubs they play their techno music, which is boring to me. Um, but I normally go to the club called Havana. They play hip hop, um, but they play that clean cut, the clean type of hip hop. They don't play like the heavy hip hop. So it's pretty cool and all that. And they play drill music over there too. Um, the nightlife is pretty cool, man. But a lot of use of drugs over here. There's a lot of use of drugs, so avoid the ones that use drugs.
When you say clean hip hop, what do you mean by that? Is that like, someone like uh Post Malone? You know,
Yeah, the Post Malones, the ones that don't use the N word a lot.
okay,
Yeah,
that's beautiful. That's what I love hearing,
yeah.
man.
hmm
What's the ratio of women to men in Australia? Is it more women than men? 50-50?
More women than men. There are definitely more women than men.
Okay, how much by would you say 60% women, 40% men?
Yeah, I would say yeah, 60-40, yeah.
Wow. Um, who so because of that, who runs Australia? Is it the man or the woman?
So mostly it's we have had female prime ministers and all that kind of stuff. At the moment it's a male dude called Albanese, whatever his name is. But in terms of like running things, like pushing agendas and all that kind of stuff, it's women.
Oh God, that's why
Mm.
it's a mess of a country. Whenever women run
Yeah.
things, things are a mess. And that's not me being a bad person. I don't think women should be in those type of situations, in my opinion. Whenever women
hmm
run things, things are a mess. That's why England's a mess, America's a mess, the West countries are a
It's a
mess because women start pushing their agendas, and women don't they're not logical like men. To keep it real,
mhm.
now it's a mess, right?
In my state, in my state, well, Queensland. Queensland is considered the most conservative state out of Australia. It's the most conservative. It's not extreme. Melbourne and Sydney, man, it's worse. Terrible. Like I just told you, they were marching for abortion that happened in America. That's how stupid they are. You know what I mean? They are super, super, super conservative, super feminist. That's where you see most of the extreme feminists. The ones like kind of like the ones you see from America. Yeah, the one that promoting some stupid agenda and all that kind of stuff. You see them in Melbourne and Sydney.
And the
Australia
thing is,
in here
bro,
in Queensland, yeah, they're okay.
thing is, right? Oh, the women there, they're okay. They're a lot more conservative than the liberals there, but they're still not
hmm
wifeful,
hmm
high body count, etc., etc.
hmm
Okay. Um, and the thing is, though, they're not oppressed. I don't know what the problem is. Women in the West are not oppressed. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. Well, what are you complaining about? Makes no sense. Go on, bro.
Okay, man. True. Like what you're saying is true. It's just like, man, they're so privileged in this country. I think I did mention on the previous chart that, man, we have what we call Centrelink here for every permanent resident or an Australian citizen, which helps you. Like you moving out of your parents' house, the government pays half of your rent.
Damn, there you go, man. Next question for you, brother, is N-word use in
hmm
Australia. As an N-word being said towards you, are non-black people saying the N-word? Have you heard it, said by people when they're singing rap songs or in general? Is the N-word use said out there at all? in Australia, brother?
If they say it in private. They don't say it in front of us because we're pretty strong on that. We're pretty strong on the use of the N word. But it's used, but mostly by islanders, which they are brothers. They are brothers, man. They black.
Ah, man,
Islanders,
you
yeah,
gotta check that,
islanders,
bro. Nah.
yeah, islanders, yeah. They use the N word. So it depends. Most of them are black. If you really see them, bro, they're black, like me, dark skin like me, or any other person. Yeah, they are dark skinned. So they use it, but they don't use it in a malicious way or like really bad. But no, the white people don't use it. I'm very clear. The white brothers don't use the N word.
What about other groups of people?
Yeah, Indians don't even use it at all. We banned the Indians from using it. We told them, nah, don't ever say that word. Um, Chinese, most of them don't even know how to speak English. Not dissing them, no, but most of them stay in their own communities where they speak Mandarin or Cantonese. So they don't really say it. They've never said it in front of me. Um, but yeah,
Okay,
mostly it's islanders. Yes, mostly islanders who probably use it because they're more heavily into the hip hop culture. Heavy in the hip hop culture.
brother. When you say that,
Hmm.
you guys have clamped down on the N word, is that the black community there in Australia? They've 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 let people know don't be saying that word, or is it, or
Yeah,
you did
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
yourself?
We check them. They already know. There's a look we give them. Like, my bro, you would try to start a fight right now if you try to use that word. You know what I mean? So they already know. If they're saying it among themselves. That we're not there.
Okay,
Mm,
interesting.
mm.
Okay, interesting
And,
there.
and
I don't think
another
anyone.
brother that
Go on,
and
bro.
a brother who just said this. I'm reading somebody said, "Do Aboriginals use the N word?" Yes, they do because they're black. They're black, dark black. They're considered black. Like if you see like really black. I will send you a picture of Aboriginals, man. They are black, like darker than most Black American people.
But they ain't
But they
black
have
though, man.
curly hair.
Even I don't think black people should be saying that word as well, bro. I think that word is a disgusting word in general.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm gonna feel some type of way if I see people that are not black saying it. I don't say it myself, and I make sure my circle doesn't say it around me. You know, those I'm close with. So it's just disappointment, But it's just rap culture. But I'm checking that, bro. It's just not. It's not something I can get down with. Doesn't matter. They're dark skin. They're with
Mhm.
the struggle. They're down with us. Nah, bro. You can call yourself a racial slur in your particular group. There's slurs for Indian people, for Aboriginals, for
Mhm.
etc. etc. So call yourself your own slurs. But it's always got to be the N word, which is crazy, man. All right, thank you, bro.
True.
Next question for you, brother, is: do you experience any racism there in general in Australia?
Because I'm a nurse, I do expensive from mostly dementia patients, but not. I've never had somebody come to me and just said some racial stuff like out of the blue. Nah, I haven't. But I've just experienced like what racism, where it's like they're afraid to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to engage in a conversation with you. Yeah, that kind of racism. That's the only racism I've probably experienced.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. I got a
Hmm.
super chat here. Shout out to the brother Donovan Jr. for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you both for the support. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. He says, salute to you, IP Fire Stream. To the guests, I want to ask, are there white men out there who are simps? If so, how bad is it? Great question, bro.
Most of them are simps. Most of them are simps, bro. Because I'll tell you, they date their women with their crazy body counts or whatever they do, whatever malicious things they crazy do with the feminism. They entertain it.
And they know about it as well.
They know about it too.
Oh my gosh.
They're ignorant of those things, and I'll be laughing, bro. And you see some of your white friends and they're girls they taking serious. I'm like, yo, man, this ain't ending well. Every guy, my friend, I'm pretty honest with my friend group. I tell him, bro, I don't give you a year with that girl, man. It'll be gone. And she'll be like, oh,
Ah,
no, it's all right, bro. It's all right. I'll find another girl. I'll be like, yeah. Why are you even wasting your time taking on dates, being with her, and all that kind of stuff, man? Oof. Anyway, it's your decision.
Have you come across white Australian men that really had their heart broken to the point where they want to end themselves, delete themselves, keeping it PG, or they've really been broken down by an Australian woman?
I've seen so many, but I've not my friends though. But most of them I've seen them in the hospital. Like we have a great
Damn.
number of men, a number of men who are deleting themselves here in Australia. A great number, and most of them are
Oh,
divorced. It's through divorce. The girl probably messed around, cheated on them. She wants to take the house, the kids. She's polluted the kids and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, pretty big here.
oh, wow. I didn't, that's crazy. And brothers, before you marry a chick, better well, and even so, please get a prenup and protect yourself. Even in some cases, hide your assets from your future wife. Okay. Yeah, I know marriage is all about sharing your stuff, but as men, seeing how we are in the West, seeing how society is going, you need to protect yourself. So yeah, so I would say hide some of your assets, stash it away in offshore accounts. Don't tell her certain things appear to be normal, and just be smart about it, because it's a crazy world we live in right now, brothers. Right, we live in a completely different world from our parents. Okay, we live
True.
in a liberal, agenda feminized world where feminism is destroying the whole world. Okay, so hide your assets, be smart, and don't love your wife too much. Okay, I don't care if she's foreign
True.
or not foreign. Don't. Would you agree, bro? Don't love her too much, man. So I would say expect the worst. You know.
Protect yourself, like you said, man. Protect yourself. But I would say, don't hiding your assets. They will find out eventually, man, because they will hire, especially if you're rich or you well, you got the money, bro. She's got the money too. She will hire a big ass lawyer and say, "Hey, man, look into this guy if he has offshore accounts or stuff like that."
Ah,
They will find a way. They will find a way. But what I'll say is, sorry, if don't protect yourself before you get married to any woman. Man, be a private investigator, man. Be an FBI, be a secret agent, man. I'm telling you, bro. You need to look into a background. Before you take a girl seriously, man, do a background check. You need to know who her ex was, the last ex was. You need to know the father, the relationship between her and her father, the mother. You need to know a lot of things. So be a private investigator, bro. Like for real.
mm,
Investigate these girls for real. Be an FBI for a day, for those couple of days or months, where you investigate her and look into her past. Look what things that can damage you. Friend group. Never ignore the friend group, because there's one friend group that's going to snitch. Most
mm,
definitely. Look at a friend group and look at what they used to do. Go and through a Instagram or old photos and see what she used to do. I know guys who actually hire private investigators to go and check their girl. They're like, yo, man, I'm about to take this girl seriously. Look into her. And there's millions and millions of things that will come out, and she'll be like, no wifeable, bro. Dish that.
damn, damn.
That's very important. It's very important. Do you know what these girls do? And some people say, "Oh, that's creepy." Nah, dogs. If you knew, I have this girl that I was dealing with. She was like, "Man, I looked into you." She was telling me straight, like, "I looked into you." Straight up, she
How?
was like, "Man, I sat down with my girl and looked in through your Instagram. The minute we'd exchange Instagrams, I looked up into you. I looked up into you. I looked at your family and everybody else you follow." I was like,
Yo,
and then that's
that
when
was a
it
white
hit me, and
girl.
I was,
That
yeah,
was
she
a
was a
white
white girl,
girl.
and I was like, and it hit me, and that's when I was like, yo, and I was like, yo, that's the fact, and I was like, yo, man, we need to do the same to them. The minute you before you take us, if you want to hit it and just hip and dip, yeah, don't do an investigation. Be like, yeah, whatever. But if you want to take her seriously, bro, do the investigation. Look at who's her last ex. If you dated a bum, I always say this in Australia. If she dated a bum, if her ex boyfriend was a bum, bro, she's settling with you, especially if you got your stuff in order. She's now settling. She's been
Mm,
ran all through by those guys and she had fun with the guys she really wants. Now she's settling with you because you got your stuff in order. It's not she's now settling. So ditch
damn.
that girl before. Ditch that girl as soon as possible. Because if you look into the ex, because most guys in Australia, man, they are bums because they're Centrelink. Centrelink helps them. If you're unemployed, Centrelink still pays you. They give you money. Homeless people in this country earn $1,000 a week. 1,000
Ah,
Australian dollars, which is something like 800. 800 or 800 or $800 in American dollars. That's a lot of money. So think about it.
Damn,
Most guys here are bums. So
that's
think
facts.
about
Go on,
those
bro.
things. Think about those things deeply and say, you know what? Before I take this girl serious, I need to do a thorough and proper investigation. Sit down and look into who she follows on Instagram, past, who she went to high school with, the first boyfriend, whatever you do to find information before you take this girl seriously. Look
That's
for
facts.
certain behaviors. That's why a lot of people say, man, date somebody for a year or two before you even call your girlfriend. And even
Mm,
an extra 2 years before she even becomes your wife. And never, I'm going to say this. I don't know what other people believe in, but for me, never cohabitate with a girl. Never, ever do that. Never, ever do that before she has a ring on her finger. Don't do that. It's dangerous.
hmm.
It's dangerous. You're
Tell
setting
us why.
yourself for failure because, man, there's pregnancies that might happen that you don't want. She
Hmm.
will actually show you the side that you never wanted to see. She'll become too comfortable. That's when she starts controlling you.
Damn.
She starts doing a lot of things that you don't want. She will start doing a lot of things. That's when domestic violence is the highest. She might go to the police and say you beat her and you're messed up. You're gone. Another story. I don't know if you know about that story, about that black Nigerian guy in America, in Miami. That OnlyFans girl he was dating, they were living together.
Yeah,
What happened?
he
Cut
killed.
him
She
on the
killed
throat.
him.
She
Damn.
killed him. Those are things that could have avoided if you were not living to her. And obviously, one other thing is distance makes the heart grow fonder. You will find her more attractive if you live far away from her, if you don't see
Very
her every
true.
single day.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes, that's facts.
So try to cohabitating is a bad idea. It's a bad, huge bad idea.
Unless
Stay
you get
away.
married, unless you become
Unless
like
you are married, yeah.
a real
Or start
serious
living
couple.
with her, yeah. Start living with her 6 months before you marry or put her or when you actually have the official wedding. Which I don't agree to. Marry her traditionally. Don't include the government. Other
Yes,
thing, if you don't want you don't want to be screwed over, avoid the government.
very true, bro. And it's funny when you said that, women love to settle, and I agree with that, bro. And that's why I think brothers need to have that strict 18 to 23 rule.
Mm-hmm.
18 to 23 rule. Okay, do you hear me, brothers? Because within that age range, women are at their peak and at their prime there. They can get any man they put their mind
Well,
to. So what were you doing
true.
between those 5 years? 5 years is a very long time. You could have found a man at 20, 21, 22, 23, 19. It means that you were throwing books around, okay, or you must be a massive POS. Okay, that's why I'm very cautious about 24, 25, 26. I'm thinking in your early years, you are at your peak at your prime. And guys, the guys are simping at that age range. You can get any guy you want. Why are you single? What are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Fact. And if you really see those girls 18 to 23, man, they're going through the best dudes. The dudes they have show genuine desire, man. Genuine desire. I read the book by Rollo Tomasi, The Rational Man, and he spoke about genuine desire. Man, genuine desire is something that you girls, if you investigate, look at it. Look at the girls that are around 18 to 23, the guys they're dating or they're messing around with. I know girls in Australia, like if a girl, like one thing I would say positive about Australian girls, when they love a man, they really do love you. For real. They do things that they'll never do for any other person in the world. They will let you drive their car. They'll do things to help you, whatever it is. And you know what? They're showing that love to the wrong guys at that age. And that's a fact. They're showing that love to the wrong guys. Then when she's 28 and run through by a million dudes, then you just come out of nowhere and just put a ring on that. Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't put yourself in that jeopardy.
That's
Don't
facts.
put yourself because man, I've seen these Australian girls, 18, 20, they show genuine, beautiful desire. You admire that. You're like, whoa, this girl, man, showing this dude some real love. Some of them just help you for not or no reason. They'll wash your clothes. They'll come and do all kind of crazy things for you. They will meet your mother. They'll bring food for your mother if your mother's sick. Show love and all that kind of stuff. And you just come out of nowhere and just man, you just come out of nowhere and marry a girl that like showed the genuineness, most genuine desire to the wrong man. Come on, man.
Mm,
Think
very
about
true,
it
man.
deeply.
And I also want to add, like, Australian women have a very bad reputation of, liking bad boys a lot. I've heard that, bro.
Exactly.
They love
Facts.
the bad guys, the guys with the tattoos, guys who are rude,
Uh-huh.
So that means between that age range of 18 to 23, she's been running through bad guys, the guys she genuinely desires. But the bad guys, they're not really wife-full dudes. They got multiple baby mamas, they're irrational. So they want to settle with a dude like you, brothers, who have worked hard your whole lives, got your degree, you're a good standing citizen. You don't want that for
Hmm.
your wife, man. You don't want that for a wife. Come on, brothers. Go after the 18 to 23-year-old woman. Go after them, brothers. Do not date or marry women over that age rate. I said that for a reason, because they've been ran through.
Facts.
And how can you not find a man between that age range? I find that very weird. Very, very
True.
weird.
Facts. Facts, bro. Like what you're saying right there is 100% true. Like, why don't you just go, man? Like you experienced life enough, man. Get your passports and leave, man. Don't ever find these girls. Go find those 18 to 23 girls in a place where they are feminine, very feminine women. You will find them in those places.
Facts.
You will
Facts,
you
bro.
will find them. You will find them in those places. You will definitely find them in those places, and they will be feminine to you. They will love you and they cherish you because they're at their young age, and you will have the best time with them. Not these first world girls, man. Like I told you, man. Even it's been dangerous dating girls in the 18 to 23 in the first world because, man, at 18 you probably have like 20 dudes,
Oh, man.
20 dudes, 20 dudes.
Jeez. 20 dudes at 18. That's
Hey,
disgusting.
man,
That is filthy. Oh,
20 dudes at 18, man. So think about it.
Lord. Man. Oh, damn. All right. Thank you, bro. Next question for you, brother, is I got three more questions, but I'll open up the phone lines.
Mm-hmm.
Any danger to be aware of in Australia, brothers, in general?
Dangerous. Well, besides the spiders and the snakes and what which you don't really see in the big cities, man. If you live in the countryside, then you see this, but nah, not really, man. This place is safe, man. Like you can drop your phone and you can find it. Same place,
Oh, okay. Interesting. Wow.
same
So
place.
low crime and everything.
Low crime. Yeah, the only crime that you probably see is probably the druggies fighting, the drug addicts or the drug dealers, the bikies. They're called bikies here. They're the ones that fight, shoot each other, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Awesome, Brian. Well, what about the creepy crawlies, the snakes, the spiders? Are they everywhere in Australia, bro?
In the countryside, but then in the big cities, you don't really see them. You don't really see them at all.
Okay.
Barely see them. Hmm.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Next question for you, brother, is should brothers travel alone or in a group to Australia, and tell us why?
Alone, you always need that right hand person to walk around with, get to know to. Traveling alone, at least you need to have somebody you know in Australia. That's all I gotta say. And no person, the person you know and trust. Because I'm seeing that in this world now we have a lot of people, fake friends, fake male friends. There's no brotherhood no more. And that's one thing you need to cherish as a man is the strong brotherhood, where
Yeah.
that person you know that this person I met him, but he has my back. You know what I mean? I'll never stab them in the back. I'll never stab them in the back. You'll never stab me in the back, and I'll never stab them in the back. So that's one thing you gotta have that important brotherhood. So traveling alone, yeah, it depends on who you trust in those cities. But I prefer you traveling with somebody else. Travel with a brother that you know that, hey man, or pack or wolf pack of guys that you know that, hey man, these are my ride or dies, man. What we're going to do is going to be crazy.
Facts. Facts.
Hmm.
Wonderful. Thank you, bro. And in general, is Australia safe for black men?
In terms of crime or whatever, the police or stuff like that.
In terms of everything, brother. So when we're traveling there, living there, is it safe in general when we travel there for a week or two and living there? Is it
Yeah,
safe in
safe,
general? Okay.
safe, but just be careful, man, who you're dealing with as well, too. In terms of the females, man. like the age range and who you're dealing with. Make sure there's backup of pictures and stuff like that. They might mean to you, especially if you're a black guy. So be careful in terms of dealing with women.
Awesome. Thank you, man. 'Cause I know they look
Hmm.
very old, though, isn't it? The women, they look extremely old with the makeup.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, of
like,
course.
they're 20, 22, but they look like 31.
Fact.
Oh, man. Hey, Mr. Rayshon, this has been a great stream so far. Thank you so much, brother.
Hmm.
Before
Hmm.
I open up the phone lines, brother, do you want to take a 5-minute break?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm
You
good.
good? Okay. Awesome, brother. Awesome. So, brothers, fantastic stream so far. So please call in to ask your questions to our guests. And when you call in, please be respectful. If you can't call in, you must cash app and super chat your questions. So Sean, please don't answer any questions in the live stream chat unless they call in or they cash app and super chat the question. Okay, bro?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic, brother. So, brothers, before I do so, make sure you join the Patreon Diamond tier. Who is this dude? Okay, I'm gonna put this dude on block. That's a troll right there. So,
What's he saying?
I don't know, just speaking nonsense, man. So, brother,
Hmm.
special announcement. The explicit version of this stream will be on the Patreon Diamond tier. So make sure you join the Patreon to hear what truly goes down with the woman there in Australia that we can't speak on the YouTube channel. Okay, I will never let you brothers down. So all the information you need on these countries, I am your number one go-to guy. Okay, so join the Patreon Diamond tier to hear that ASAP. Next thing, brothers, is here's a link to my Cash App over here, brothers. Feel free to donate tonight. That'd be greatly appreciated. Like I told you, brothers, YouTube takes a 40% cut of each and every super chat. So please definitely support via the Cash App. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you can't, super chats are fine. Okay, appreciate you, brothers. Here's a link to my Facebook group. Like I said, brothers, you must be a part of the Patreon to get through to get into my Facebook group. Okay, so when you join the Patreon, you get access to my Facebook group. So send me a DM there. Here's a link to my Twitter, brothers. Okay, follow me on Twitter and send me a DM on Twitter. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to hear updates on my channel, my life, my travels on the Twitter. You can also find me on Instagram. So make sure you follow me on Instagram and send me a DM on Instagram if you want to speak to me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible on Instagram. My life is there, my thoughts, the channel updates, etc., etc., and of course my travels. So follow me on Instagram. That'd be greatly appreciated. Here's a link to my merch. The hoodie is extremely popular, so make sure you cop the international passport merch to be a part of the international passport ecosystem and movement, and that'd be greatly appreciated, brothers. Again, brother, special announcement: I will be teaching a Python course for my American brothers, Canadian brothers, and North American brothers. So make sure you join the Patreon Diamond tier if you want to be a part of the Python course. I'll be teaching the class in November next month. So join that Patreon Diamond tier to join my Python IT course. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to open up the phone lines. So ask your questions. Please be respectful to our guests. Any disrespect will result in punishment. Okay, we're all adults here. Let's get it popping, man. Man, classic, bro, classic.
Hmm.
Yeah, awesome. Feel free to call in, brothers. So, brothers, brother, a bit upset
Hmm.
about the Asian women, about how they treat brothers out there.
Hmm.
And shout out to the brother, Endogani, for the £1 super chat. Much appreciated to you, Endogani. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much, bro. Awesome. Thank you for the support. So, brother, the Asian women out there.
Hmm.
Speak to me more about the Japanese women there, brother. Have you seen Japanese women with brothers out there in Australia?
The ones I've seen out here, they just having fun, man. Not in marriage type of thing. It's just having fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you know what? Right.
They
I
kind of
met
they kind of
a
adventurous. They kind of adventurous out here. So that opportunity for fun is there.
okay. I met a Japanese chick right many years
Hmm.
ago, and she was telling me she was studying in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and she said that there's a saying that Australian guys have for Japanese women in Australia that are there.
Mm-hmm.
They call them Japaneasy. Japaneasy.
Facts.
So it means that they're easy out there. As a oh, man.
So easy. The white boy, yeah. Because you know what? In Australia, like I told you, like man, I struggle, man, to find like when these all these RP guys be talking about, oh yeah, white boys struggle about girls, and I'm like, yo, in Australia they don't. They have abundance of options, so many options. Like they have Japanese, they have Asians, the Southeast Asians, they South Asian like the Indians and the Pakistanis and all that kind of stuff. Bangladesh girls, they love white boys. All of those options. They struggle to find one. Like one, you definitely then you probably have a type. You want the blondie and blue eyes, but there are not many of them. You know what I mean? You need to explore your options.
Yeah.
So and there's so many options. Like they're so easy, Japanese women, so easy. Even with their bad English, bro, like they're really good communication, and you can. It's so easy. They love a good time. I think from that Southeast community, they're the ones who drink and party a lot. Out of the other two, of the other three or two, like the Chinese and the Taiwanese or the Koreans, the Japanese are the ones that party a lot. They love integrating with different people too.
Interesting. Okay, thank you, bro. Padigo Chun, can you turn your camera on in the background so you're not a troll? So I have a question here, brother. It says, what are you confirmed, Mr. Chung? Thank you, bro. What are some languages you would recommend brothers learn for assessing the woman there in Australia, brother?
Oh well, if you know English, man, that's probably the only thing that you need to learn. But it's good that you want to learn like Italian. Italian women are beautiful out here. Italian women are beautiful. If you want to learn a little bit of Italian, if you want to learn a bit of Spanish, Portuguese as well too. We are Brazilians here, but they're tough. But if you speak their language, they might assume that you're from Brazil too. Um, um, Portuguese, you can learn Czech, you can learn Hungarian, um, any language pretty much, man. If you're pretty diverse, you know, even Japanese. Japanese, just knowing how to konnichiwa, bro, you're good.
Awesome.
So yeah, if you can have a 2 minute, if you can have like 5 or 6 sentences that you can speak in any language, they would. It's something that breaks the ice. He's well traveled, quite an interesting guy. He knows how to speak another language.
Awesome. All right, great question. Thanks, bro. So let me bring in Mr. Padiku Chung.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chung, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing very well, brothers. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic,
Good.
bro. Great night so far. So do you have
well,
any questions for our guests about Australia, Mr. Chung?
Yes, I do. So in terms of traditional women, would you say the Islanders and more so the like native Australians would be more like traditional?
Well, the other thing, yeah, I'll say for the Islanders, yes, but the native Australians, you barely see them, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, but if they're there, they're kind of westernized in a way, but they're pretty good. They're pretty
So if
good. You
you
don't see them in the big cities, and also a lot of. I have to say this. I love those Aboriginal people, but most of them are into drinking, heavy drinking and drugs. So they don't have better lives. They don't have good lives for you to consider marriage with. But obviously, Islanders, they're really good. They're really, really traditional, parents respectful, and all that kind of stuff that you would want to, somebody you would want to take seriously. Yeah, they're good.
so you would say in terms of Australian women, you should probably link up with a like a Pacific Islander as opposed to like a Caucasian Australian woman.
Yes, true. Okay, yeah, most definitely. If she's Samoan, Fijian, New Zealander, yeah, New Zealander, yeah, nah. The Maoris, they're a bit westernized, but Fijian, Samoans, and yeah, they're called Polynesians. Then there's
Ooh.
the Polynesians. Yeah, the Polynesians are the Fijians, Tongans, and Samoans. Then there's the ones that come from Papua New Guinea and Solomon Island. They're more darker. They are real super traditional. They follow their own traditions. They follow their
Okay.
traditions pretty good.
Let me ask this, brother. So
Mhm.
do they have low body counts, and can we find virgins amongst that group of women?
Yeah, some of them they do. Some of them do, but you never know. If they live in Australia, man, you never know, man. The crazy stuff they doing around there. So, but if you're going to their country to find them, yeah, most definitely.
Okay. This is sounding good stuff. Those Polynesian chicks, they're pretty hot. They got that peanut butter brown skin that the brothers love.
Yeah, yeah.
Silky black hair
Polynesian.
too. Long silky
Yeah,
black hair.
yeah, black hair. If you go to Solomon Island, you'll find black people with dark skin and blonde hair, Afro blonde hair, or curly blonde hair. So it's something that you find even to go to Papua New Guinea, but the Papua New Guineas are the ones you find the most beautiful ones. I would say the pretty ones are mixed. That makes it white and black.
Yes. Yeah, they're not really that good looking. I'll keep it real. The Papua New Guinea, the woman, but when they're mixed, yes, they're
mixed. The mixed ones, they're really good. Yeah,
that's very true. You got anything else, Mr. Chung?
I think another one in terms of you were talking about sort of like keeping your finances secret. Is that just a general sort of rule of thumb, or is it from the perspective of like if you're encountering with somebody, you don't want to sort of lead with your wallet, so to speak?
Yeah. Don't lead with your wallet. Australian girls, a good thing about Australian girls too. They don't. Money is just a plus, added plus. If you don't, you could be rich, but if you're not in the bracket of their type, you could take L's, man. You could be a millionaire, black millionaire, but if they're not into a black dude, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. So that's the good thing about Australian girls. They don't like money, or the money is a plus, is that a plus? But also too, you will find girls that they follow the Kardashians and all that. They want to keep like the Kardashians. Most like I would say this too. Even the Middle East women that like black dudes, or checking out the brothers, they are into that Kardashian type of life. And of course, they will have the BBLs, the lips done, and all that kind of stuff. And also, they will like rich black dudes because they're seeing all the Kim Kardashians dealing with the billionaires and all that kind of stuff, and the NBA players getting them. So they see that life and they're like, "Hey, man, I'm Middle East. I'm definitely gonna get my own black rich guy." So if you live with your wallet, then you will never get that genuine desire from that lady too. So never, in any instances, anywhere, don't live with your wallet, because it's an L. You definitely taking an L.
Yeah, facts. So no 5-star restaurants, no Michelin star restaurants. Coffee dates are my first filtering, right? And if she says no, let's go to here, I walk away. We're not going to no expensive places. Coffee dates are enough to get to know each other more. Okay, and that's how you filter out women who want to use you for your resources. Do not let these women use you. Don't do it. You've worked hard your whole life. You went to school, and you don't want to lose everything to a silly bitch. Okay, and I don't want to for any of my brothers here on this platform. Okay, coffee dates are enough.
Yeah,
if she disagrees,
simple things.
Simple things, man. Ice cream. Let's go to the park and get ice cream. If that's too much, if that's too low for her, she ain't for you. And brothers, please stop thinking with your penises, man. Think logically.
Right.
And that's a problem here with brothers. They just do, they want to smash. Oh, okay, that's cool. £50 here, $100 here. That's cool. No, man. Stop. Because you want to smash. Don't do it. Coffee dates and ice cream are great enough. If she says no, on to the next chick, man.
I'll add this IP. I'm gonna add this to what you said. Bro, like the simplest things can get you far. Simplest things can get you as far as possible. Because you always want to extract the genuine desire. Genuine desire is the most important thing. And if you lead with your wallet, you're gonna sink. Most definitely, you're going to sink. So just do the simplest things. And also, I have this rule. I don't drink. Like I haven't consumed alcohol in 2 years now. 2 years. I stopped drinking when I knew that I was losing my purpose by just drinking every weekend. And one of my rule, even with girls I'm hooking up with, I do not drink. Even if it's getting to a bar, I'm ordering a juice. I'm ordering apple juice or pineapple juice. I don't drink. It's that discipline that you're having and saying, okay, she might have a cocktail, but make sure you limit the number of cocktails. And even some girls, they follow your lead. If she's gonna have a cocktail and you have juice, she's gonna eventually change her mind and say, you know what? This guy is not drinking too. How about I ease up on the drink too? I will, grab a juice too. She'll have one cocktail and that's it for her. And she'll be like, I'll grab some water or grab something else. So it's something that you need to do in terms of discipline. I don't drink. Don't hook up with girls when you're drunk. We live in a very dangerous time, folks. You need to understand this. We live in a Me Too controlled environment. I've seen so many brothers go down, especially as much as I don't like living in this victim mentality and thinking my race was going to stop me from anything. But stereotypical people live out there. They're out to destroy us. And if you're not strong enough, they will. They will stereotype you. And when they stereotype you, you are gone. They will Me Too you.
Too,
yeah. They will Me Too you, bro. And when they Me Too you, you are gone. And Australia does not play. They deport you as soon as possible. You're gone. So think about that before you go out on a date with a girl. Make sure minimize drinking. Grab a juice, or have one drink, one beer. Then you say, I'm gonna have water.
Go on, Mr. Chung.
Yeah. So I guess that being said, is there any like sort of preconceived notions that these women will have about, like, specifically Black American men, and I guess our case, but also for Black Brits as well? Is there like a preconceived notion of what they expect you to possibly be like? You mentioned with the Polys, they are really into hip hop. So is it kind of assumed that you would also be into hip hop and stuff?
Of course. Like I told you, I said this to IP in a Patreon stream, and I said, man, like here, the minute they hear you're American or British, Black British, man, they just swim over you. They love Americans and British people, especially if you're British, and especially if you're American, they hear the accent, they'll be like, "You American? Oh my god, I know." They got a funny accent they speak in. they funny accent. They say, "I know. Are you American? Oh my god." They really love that. So they're all over you. Indeed, like there's a dude in the chat say, "Fun pretty boy" and stuff like that. They're all over you to hear an American accent, and they expect you to be like. Some of them, they expect you to be hood. They want you to be like, a hood dude and all that kind of stuff, or a sophisticated Black guy. You know what I'm saying? Present yourself. You need to meet the expectations too. Even if you're a British guy too, they will ask you, "Do you know Stormzy? Oh my God, I know him too," and all that kind of stuff. They expect you to know these people, and you can play it out as a British guy too. You, British guy, you drill music. They're like, "Oh, do you like drill music? Oh yeah," and those speak about the famous drill guys and all that kind of stuff.
Damn. So they're pretty much stereotyping the brothers there to like. So if your brother likes rock music, you're into like anime, manga. They're like, "Oh, what? No."
Yeah, you're oddball then.
You're oddball then too. You definitely. But you can actually get, if you like the goth looking girls. Yeah, you can get them. You can get them with anime. If you want the sophisticated, they check it too. They're the most that actually check. They're the ones that mostly check. But most of them have mental health problems. Yeah.
Pause, bro. Hold on there. We need to break that down even further, bro. That right there is a science subject, bro. Hold on, bro. D boy, can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you're not a troll for a couple seconds, brother? Then you can turn it off afterwards, just so I know you are a brother. Sorry, but it's just like a security procedure. I can't see you there, D boy. Yeah, you're confirmed, bro. Thank you. You are a brother. Thank you, brother. Stay on the line there, D boy. So you're telling me the goth and those chicks, right, who wear all black with their makeup, they check the most for brothers. Break it down for me, bro.
They check for me. They check out brothers too. They just want to have. They're wild, man. Some of them. This is what I'm gonna say. Most of them have mental health problems. So don't. I say to brothers, don't be too horny for them. Don't be too horny for them. Some of them are hot. I'm gonna say, if you like anime, or if you're a guy who probably grew up anywhere in the world and you were pretty much, or grew up in a white area where you were more exposed to anime and all that kind of lifestyle, you definitely gonna get those girls.
Oh,
Even if you're hood and you're crazy that night, you might get a gothy girl that's hot, or she's average, whatever she is. But I
okay.
recommend to stay away from those girls because they got mental health problems, most of them.
Is that in your personal
High
experience,
risk.
bro? Have you dealt
Yeah,
with
personal
a goth
experience.
chick?
Because
Okay,
nah, I've not even attempted. Because I work in a hospital, and I see these people every day. They always come with some mental health problem.
interesting, bro. So,
Hmm.
hmm, how do we meet these goth chicks, these anime loving goth chicks? Where do we meet them? Is it anime conventions? Do we cold
You might
approach
find
them
them
in
at,
a dress? Go on.
yeah, anime conventions, or you can find them at mostly at college. If you go to college here and uni, what you call uni over here, uni, you can find them in the clubs. They've got their own areas. They hang around. Um, Wherever you can meet them, everywhere, anywhere you want to meet them. Like even social groups. Like if you have some white friends, they definitely know some gothy looking girls. You can get those too. They can hook you up. So it's pretty good.
And
Anywhere.
and these goth girls, they're mostly white girls, I'm guessing.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you, bro. For them, might be Japanese. I'm kidding. Let me bring in Mr. Devon, pretty boy. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? How are you? Thank you for allowing me to come up. I'm pretty.
Bro, you got music in your background. Sorry, bro. Just I had to mute you there for copyright. Do you mind turning that off real quick, brother? Any TV, any music on? Just so I won't get hit with copyright at all, brother. The form, pretty boy. Thank you, brother. And let me know when you're ready by unmuting yourself, please.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was in a restaurant.
Oh yes, that's better, bro. Fantastic. Welcome, brother. How are you?
Great, great. How about yourself?
Great live stream, brother, so
How
far.
you doing,
So
man?
Good, good. So where you live at in Australia?
Yeah, I'm down in the Gold Coast, man.
Or Brisbane?
I'm close to Brisbane, but I live in the Gold Coast, down south, close to the border.
Okay, okay. I stayed in Brisbane for a little while, but my main base was Melbourne.
okay.
Oh, you in Melbourne?
And how did the woman treat you there in Australia, D boy?
I can't even explain it. It's way different than America, or it's different than I was there for 8 years. I actually lived there. I was well engulfed. I spent majority of my adult life, I would say, in Australia.
Okay, fantastic, brother.
Hmm.
Who gave you the most play? Was it the white woman, the Asian woman, the Middle Eastern woman, like the Lebanese woman? Who gave you the most
Well,
love, brother?
Melbourne's super diverse, so it was never like I can't say I just got the most play from any type of woman. It's like I got play from all types of different women. Eastern European, because very rarely down in Melbourne would you find like maybe a second generation Australian. All of them are mainly like they might be first generation, or they might just be new to the country. Or like second generation maybe. You know what I'm saying? Their parent will be from somewhere else. You know what I mean? A lot of Greeks, especially in Melbourne. If you could do the work, math on this, there's more Greeks in Melbourne than all of Greece.
Huh.
Fact. He's
What?
100% right about that.
That's
Yep.
weird. Okay, interesting.
Hmm.
Because it's huge. It's huge about Australia. I learned a lot. I was well engulfed in the culture. Learning about the culture, being around the people. Some of my best friends that I have to this day, they're all Aussie. So, the women are no problem there.
Okay. So you're telling me every race of woman gave you play, the Japanese, the white, the black, even the ones that the brother finds hard to get, is shown you got out there in Melbourne, brother. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh man, I've been to
Yeah,
Melbourne twice. My
yeah, the
experience
women.
was mostly with the Middle East women.
Yeah, the Lebanese, a lot of Lebanese, Lebo. They
Hmm.
always say Lebo.
The Lebos, the
Lebo,
Lebos.
Lebo. You know what I'm saying? They're major cool. Even the Africans that live there, like
Uh huh.
the Somalian, Ethiopian.
I forgot to speak about Ethiopian girls. They're hot too, man.
They're
Yeah,
Beautiful
checking too.
Ethiopian girls.
They're checking as well for brothers.
yes,
They,
yes,
of
bro.
course, they don't date anything else. They don't even like white guys. It's either dating the only Ethiopian guy or dating a black guy.
Ooh,
And
this
the
is
thing is,
good.
like, they're so engulfed in American culture. They just love it, and a lot of times they know our story, because the thing is, like, one thing I learned about being over there, like, they really exploit America outside in like other like developed countries, and especially in Australia, they exploit everything about hip hop culture and stuff. A lot of times they know more than a lot of Americans. You'll find about, they'll be able to name artists like from back in the day. They'll be able to name places, things. They're really engulfed in it. So when they see an authentic Black American person and they actually speak to them about they already know. They know the history. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's incredible. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's really unique. It's Australia's like really one of the world's best kept secrets, because the average person that looks at it, they see it, they think about Australia, they think about the outback, they might think about like white girls, but it's not that. It's far from that. They're more diverse than the United States, because their policy, and a lot of times like, you got to think they're dealing with all Commonwealth nations. So you got a lot of people from India, Sri Lanka, you know what I mean? Then on top of that, you got people from England, then huge Irish influence, because it was a prison colony. So they would cap, so they're a lot of their prisoners that they shipped to Australia were Irish. So, you know, they're big, especially in Melbourne, they're big on Irish culture, you know what I'm saying? Irish influence, you know. But their whole idea, it's man, Melbourne is really, really diverse. It's more diverse than Sydney, you know, I would say, as far as its diversity, because they also got the Melbourne Uni is one of them, is like the major university in the South Pacific. It's like huge. And a lot of kids go out there as exchange students, and you got to have money to go to Melbourne University. You got to have money. It's like going to go to Melbourne University is like going to Yale here. Damn. Or Harvard. You know what I'm saying? And it costs that much, because not only that, well, it costs that much. Also, you're getting on an exchange program, so you got to have money to get even on the exchange program. So they're all balling.
Damn, this is crazy, bro. So the women that are boarding there in Melbourne, brother, are they checking for brothers? These women that are, you know, from rich families, are they giving love to brothers as well?
Dude, they're checking for brothers for reals. Like there's like specific spots dedicated for just, you know, Black Americans. Like, you know, they have 4th of July celebrations and shit at clubs.
Yeah, there are too many Americans in Melbourne, where it's like you feel like at home. You see more Black people in Melbourne than other states in America.
Yeah, and that was only I'd say that's only over the past, like, I'd say like 10 years.
5 years? Yeah, 5 years, I'd say.
Yeah. So like, before when I was there, you know, it was rare. You know, there was a few of us, and like, you know, it was a small community of Black Americans, and we all kind of knew each other. So it was I would say it was maybe like 30 or 40. I would say that were like just straight out of America, you know what I'm saying? But that's excluding like the basketball players from the professional basketball players that were there. That, you know, but just the regular Americans, and usually they work at the consulate, or they came over there. A lot of times they came over there and they came as basketball players, and then they ended up getting married or something. You know what I mean?
Let me ask this, bro. How did the Japanese woman and the Korean woman treat you there, brother, in Melbourne?
Well, it was awesome, because like mainly I didn't really I can't really speak on Japanese women, but if you're speaking on Asian totally, like, you know, I dated a Chinese chick when I was there. I dated a Malaysian chick when I was there. I dated an Indonesian chick when I was there. So as far as like that type of Asian, and I spent a little bit of, you know, I spent about like 3-4 weeks in Thailand, because it's right there. So, you know, it's
pretty close. Yeah.
It's pretty close. So, you know, you're looking at a 2-3 hour plane ride, you know, to like Indonesia, you know what I'm saying? So, but as far as like, as far as Japanese, I never got involved with that. My experiences were with Japanese girls, and Korean girls was here and inside the United States.
Were they checking the Korean girls?
Oh, in Australia?
Yes.
No, there's plenty of Korean girls. It's like, it's like, but from my experience, I didn't cop one, should I say?
Okay.
But
Interesting.
I was explaining to IP that the dynamics of Australia, that it's mostly options that you have is white girls, black girls, and of course you speak about the Middle Eastern women and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But you don't have that much
Europe.
influence in the Southeast Asian women. You don't have that much influence. You don't
And
have pretty much one in a
and
million that you see.
you got China. Well, Melbourne's a little bit different though, because there was a huge uprising of Asians, especially in like in Melbourne, especially like in the downtown areas and stuff like that. It's like, they got, when they say that they have a Chinatown everywhere, they got Chinatown everywhere. But their Chinatown is like real Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like, because it's like real Chinatown. It's not like the Chinatowns in the United States. They're like, it's like they really have Chinese food. The Chinese food that you're eating here, that's not Chinese food, man. I mean, it's that Chinese food, man. Like that stuff be moving and stuff. You know what I mean? Nah. You know what I'm saying? It's like that stuff be moving. So stuff be half alive half the time. But as far as like, there's a lot of Asian people. It's like you kind of like, I'd say you just kind of got to dig through the people that you want to deal with. But as far as like, there's a lot of Indonesians, Chinese. You got a lot of Chinese people, and Malaysian. Basically more South Pacific, more of the island Asians, Filipinos. More on that tip. One of my good friends was Korean, that I met over there. His name was Philip. He was Korean dude. You know what I mean? He was real hip hop b-boy. There's a lot of them, man. There's a lot of them, just like hip hop through the roof. More hip hop than like any like American dude. And they don't respect the newer hip hop. They hate that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They like the old stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So
they hate the new hip hop.
What was your experience?
The fun.
What was your experience with mixed race and Blasian women?
What'd you say? Mixed race?
And Blasian, yeah. So half black, half Asian, and mixed race women, half black, half white, half black.
I didn't really find mixed race like that, like the Blasian women. But what I did? I did date a Greek and black girl. She was Greek and black. I dated one of them. Yeah, she was unique. She was unique.
That's a good mix, man. That's a good mix.
And it was Chanel, man. She was too brown, bro. She was bad. She was super bad. Yeah, I dated her for a few months, but she lived in Brisbane. That's why I kind of asked you about Brisbane.
Chanel.
No,
Brisbane.
She moved here now. She lives here now.
Oh, because I know a lot of like, if you tell me about black girls or a lot of them from Brisbane, I know a lot of them, because there's a really small community out here from Brisbane and all that, so you kind of know.
Yes.
Know all of them.
Are you currently in Australia, or are you in America right now? B-boy.
Oh, I live in America. I live in San Francisco right now.
Hold on, bro. Shout out to Mr. Donovan Jr. for the $5 super chat. Thank you for the support, bro. He says, looks like Australia is Canada 2.0. I wouldn't say so, bro. I'm going to say Canada is still better than Australia, because in Canada, you have Vancouver, right? And you have Montreal, two spots that women there check for brothers heavy. And I think you can find a respectable woman in Vancouver, because Vancouver has a lot of Asians there, a lot of Persians there, and they're very traditional, and they still have some of the culture there, a lot of Chinese there as well. So
well,
I don't know.
In Australia, there's a lot of Asians. You got to remember, because it's really called Australasia. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the Asian part of the Asian Pacific. You know what I'm saying? So like, and if you remember, if you know that during the World War II, the Japanese, like, they were trying to take over Australia because they felt that was part of their land at one point. You know what I'm saying? So there is the Asian, there's more Asians in I would say per capita, there's more Asians in Australia than there is in America per capita. But you got to remember, the population of Australia is not even the population of California.
Yeah, we've got what? think 20 million people out here.
Yes,
20
exactly.
million.
It's like 20 million.
All right, awesome, man. All right, brothers. This has been a great stream so far. Mr. Deformed Pretty Boy, you might reach out to me on IG, bro. If that's okay with you, if you're on IG. Here's my IG in the chat, bro. I just want to speak to you more about Australia. I'm about to end the stream. So that's my IG on the screen, Deformed Pretty Boy. If you can reach out to me, bro, that's okay with you, brother.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. I'll reach out to you.
Awesome.
Thank you
brother.
for letting me come
Hey,
up. That's
hey,
like Australia is really like my second home. That's my second home, really. And I will be going back there probably to retire.
You're the first person who wants to come and live here, man.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, it's a kept secret. You know what I'm saying? It's not really when you get there, you're like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know it was like this. You know what I'm saying? Because even Melbourne's like major metropolitan. You're talking about 4 million people. You know what I'm saying? And and by the beach, big tall skyscrapers. It's incredible. It's crazy. You're thinking,
brother,
wait a minute.
I'm a bit, I'm a bit cautious to living there a long time because from what I hear, black men don't have much power there. I feel like American in America, black men have more power there. Even though it's not a lot, it's still something in the UK too. In Australia, if you're black, you're practically invisible. And
not necessarily. Like I said, like it depends on where you live at. Like you got to think about like if you live in Melbourne.
Sorry, bro. I mean, like in terms of economic power, influence. It's very important that we have that if we're going to live in a country long term or forever. We don't have that in Australia, from what I see, especially media coverage, having that financial pull. From what I've heard, is Asians, it's whites, it's Indians, and Chinese. Black men have no power there in Australia, bro. But maybe I may be wrong here. Break it down for me, Deformed.
Well, you got to think about what do you mean like economic power? Because there's plenty of successful black people in Australia. Plenty, very big on. Now, if you're talking about media and stuff like that, no, I wouldn't say not really. If you're talking about media, but if you're talking about like owning property and owning like businesses, nightclubs and stuff like that, especially nightclubs, a lot of black Americans own that stuff. Black American people, you know what I'm saying?
Whereabouts, bro? In Australia.
And then
it's Melbourne.
In Melbourne.
Yeah. And especially and Melbourne's like, you got to think Melbourne's like the second largest city in Australia. You know what I mean? So it's like, so like when you're thinking about places that are like outback, and things like that, you got to remember it's not a big country. You know what I'm saying? 20 million people. It's not that many people, you know what I'm saying, in that country. So, per capita, I would say, I tell you right now, black American people that live in Australia are doing way better than they are doing here. Straight up. No ands, ifs, or buts about that. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact.
But I will chip in and say that IP is kind of right, though, in terms of
if he's talking about political powers and stuff like that, it's like, man, what think about it. What honestly, when you really think about it, what westernized country really has black people with a whole lot of power besides the United States?
But if you really check on his point, what he's talking about, what IP is talking about, in terms of power, in terms of dynamics of dating, because you're giving a great experience about Melbourne, and I did say that early on to IP that Melbourne is probably Melbourne and Sydney. If you want to date as a black guy, those are only two cities that you can go off. You got a little bit of more options. I live in Queensland and in the Gold Coast, pretty much Queensland, the state of Queensland, and it's totally different. And it's totally different experience in terms of economically. You do well, of course. You got good jobs. You always get the good jobs, but we don't have. I'm even surprised you telling me that there are black Americans who own things in Melbourne. Here in Queensland, it's you have those opportunities, but I think black people are not really that motivated to do those certain things.
Because the government takes care of them.
Exactly. I was telling him about Centrelink. That people get paid on Centrelink.
Yes, exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's why they become lazy because the one thing about the Australian government, they take care of their people. They're not like America. There's not going to be a bunch of people laying out in the street homeless. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Because they have something called the dole, right? Which is very much like welfare. So let's say you say, oh, I don't have a job. I need to get a job or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to be homeless. You go to a place called Centerlink. You know what I'm saying? And you tell them, you explain their situation. They be like, okay. So they set you up with housing. They pay you like something like $1,500 a month. This is all free. And then all
No, they
free.
pay you $1,000. They'll pay you $1,000 a month.
Okay. So, well, it depends on where you live. Once again, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I know in Melbourne because the dude who used to live right above me, he was an Italian dude, and he didn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of used to.
Bro. Language.
Oh, sorry. He didn't do anything, and it used to make me very, very angry because I used to be getting up in the morning, going to work every day, and he'd be sitting outside. Hey, man, how you doing, man? Man, have a nice day. And I'm just like, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Have a nice day. So what they do is like they until you find a job, what happens? They'll be like, okay, they'll send you out all these jobs. Go apply for this job, blah blah blah. And so then let's say you land a job, boom. So what they do is they take that they make you pay that money back. So you could stay on the money, and it has to be a livable wage because in the state of Victoria, it's like they pay you the minimum wage is according to your age. You see what I mean? So it's according to your age, but it has to be a livable wage because they have two parties there. They have the Liberal Party and they have the Labor Party. The Labor, which is kind of like the Democrats and the Republicans. But the only thing is the Labor Party is like 110% for the workers. So they make sure that the workers have specific rights that they wouldn't have. There is no like, company influence and, lobbying and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So
is it easy? Is it easy for a black man, a Western black man, America, UK, Canada, or even black men in Australia themselves born there to get a high-paying job in a very good industry like IT, law, medicine, etc., etc.?
Bro, it's a walk in the park. You know why? You know why? Because for you know why it's so easy? Because at the end of the day, they don't have there's certain discriminatory things that are kind of illegal. And like say when you go to America and you fill out an application, right? The application will ask you to race, right? They don't have that. You know what I'm saying? It's like there is no race like depending on your race. There's no what's it called? Affirmative action type of making, so they can't really discriminate against you according to race. You know what I'm saying? Aussies basically overall, they're pretty just like we know racism is ignorance, okay? But their ignorance is it's not like American ignorance as far as racism goes. It's like we want the best people that can do the job. We don't care what your race is because number one, we're trying to progress. Our society's trying to progress. So it's kind of like America was after, say the industrial age. So they're trying, basically they want to have the best people that can perform the job. So they don't care what race you are when it comes to that. You never have problems getting a job there. Especially if you got the skills, you're gonna get the job, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've seen. Now that's just what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? From the Americans that I know that are there, you know what I'm saying? But everybody might not have the same experience, you know what I'm saying? But it's
I was saying too, like
you live in Queensland. So Queensland's like that's like living in the middle of America, kind of. You know what I'm saying? What's the opportunities going to be for Black Americans in the middle of America? Very slim, you know what I'm saying? In comparison to living like in New York or in in California, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be different. It's the same thing in Australia. It works kind of the same way. Queensland's kind of desolate. Not that many people. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very limited amounts of Black people. Very limited amounts of diversity. Even though there is diversity, it's not like so much as more as it is in the metropolitan areas. You know what I mean?
Facts. I do agree on that point, though. I do agree on that point. But another thing is that the opportunities are there. Like I'm telling you, like Africans who come out to this country, man, are doing so well than even Americans and Black people in America. Very well. Yeah. Just like they're not motivated enough to be on the top. They don't want to be millionaires. They don't want to be, on that comfortable. They're okay with the job that pays the bills. So you know what I mean? So
And you know what
that's the
else?
only problem that is. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're correct. And you know what else though? Australia has something called the skilled migrant program. So if you think you're going to go to Australia, it's not like America. You go to Australia, you're going to work at McDonald's. Like here, come in America and then work at Chick-fil-A. No, they don't have that. Australia has what they call the skilled migrant program. So if you're a skilled migrant you could look it up online if you ever are interested. Skilled migrant program. I don't know if they stopped it, but they were just like, if you, let's say they have a need for truck drivers. Okay, that's a need for truck drivers. Boom, you could apply for a visa and boom, get in the truck driving industry. You're like, they have for doctors or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they're only trying to let those skilled type of, specific skill type of people, get into that industry if you're a foreigner, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And it could be
So-
it could be a whole list of things. So like for example, and you got to prove, they have to prove that we can't find anybody we have a limited amount of people that have these skills in Australia. So you need to have that skill that they couldn't find any other Australian to fill this job position. You see what I'm saying?
So let me ask this, right? So in Australia, who's at the top of the food chain? And give me the list. Is it the white people first, then the Indians and the Chinese, then the blacks and the Arabs? Give me who's at the top of the food chain?
The top of the food chain is just like the same in any Commonwealth, because you got to remember, Australia is part of the Commonwealth. You know what I'm saying? The Queen is the Queen of Australia, just like she's the Queen of England, she's the Queen of Canada, she's the Queen. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, or the dead Queen, or the King, or whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the top of the food chain, of course, would be white people. You know what I'm saying? They are the top of the food chain. And then after that, you would have Asians. But when you're talking about Asians, see, Australians know the difference. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about Asians, like, you're including the whole Asian community. You're including the people from Southeast Asia, you know what I'm saying? And you're including the people from the base to the actual continent of Asia. You know what I'm saying? So you got the Indians, Sri Lankans, Pakistanis, Pakis.
Yeah. We know.
It's got the full spectrum, the Chinese, Korean. So if you're thinking about like ethnicity or ethnicity.
So who's after the white people, bro? Who's after?
That's what I'm saying. Then you would have the Asians, but the Asians, it'll be diverse. You know what I'm saying? It could be like the Indians, the China, but that's a huge group of different ethnicities, but they would all be classified under Asian. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then when you're talking about white, you got to include the Italians. You see what I'm saying? It's like you got to include the Italians, you got to include the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? They're considered part of that white spectrum. And like I said, the continent is majority of migrants. It's like here. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, you never really meet a third generation Australian person. You know what I'm saying? They're all like first, second generation. You know what I'm saying? So it's all built
You
on.
do find them. You do find them. You do find them like in places where different state though.
Yeah, exactly.
Sydney and Brisbane and Queensland, you find them. But I would say touching on that point that you spoke about. Yeah, Bogans. Yeah,
Bogans.
Pretty boy. So who did you get the most hate from when you were out there in Australia, in terms of a group of people? The white people, the Asian people, in terms of like in your jobs, in your day-to-day life? Did you get any sort of hate from groups that weren't black? And who gave you the most hate, brother?
It depends on the kind of like hate you're talking about. Like racial hate.
Yes, racial hate, jealousy hate, microaggressions at workplaces.
Racial hate. I can't really say I had racial hate where somebody was hating on me and be like, oh, you're black, like that. You know what I'm saying? I got the American hate because they hate because they feel like, oh, you're coming. I got that hate, but not like a racial hate. It's been more like they couldn't stand Americans. You know what I'm saying? Because they think we're loudmouth, global capitalists. You know what I'm saying? Because they're still kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? They global capitalists, killmongers, go around just killing everybody and taking up their stuff because they experience like their history with America. It hasn't been good either. You know what I'm saying? Because the only reason why America helped them during World War II is so they could dump their nuclear waste into the outback, which they don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? But I learned about that. You know what I'm saying?
What about in terms of the workplace as well, brother? how's that been for you? Did you experience any microaggressions, any racism in the workplace, any hate towards you as a black man in the
Nah,
workplace?
not in my workplace because I
No.
worked for an American company, which I was lucky. I worked for Nike when I was there, so like no, I didn't get any like no kind of like racial hate. No.
All right, awesome.
No.
So I've got a super chat. I'm going to
Mhm.
end it. I'm going to end it in 15 minutes. Okay, so
Mhm.
brothers, feel free to call in and feel free to cash up and super chat your questions. I think 15 more minutes I can stay on for that longer before I go to bed. Shout out to Mr. Joseph Ashbury for the $20 super chat. Joseph, where you been at, bro? I hope you're well, Joseph. Much love to you, brother. Welcome back. Question: what is the cost of living compared to the US in general, specifically? A person with 8K a month retirement, how can one live? That's a great question.
But well,
So
you living large, man. If you're if you're at 8K, if you're living out 8K in a month, well, we get paid fortnightly here, and
yeah,
it depends. It depends what type of job you are. Like, the rent is like what? I don't know about Melbourne. I think Melbourne is more expensive, but in my city, if you want a really good apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, you pay like $600 a week, so which is like $1,200 a month, a fortnight. And most people who do that, they probably have really good jobs. You have a really good job if you're doing that.
Oh,
But yeah, you get 8,000 a month, man. You living large, man. You probably paying like 3K. You're probably paying 3K in rent.
damn.
and,
Awesome.
and if you're
Yeah, so
paying
yeah,
if you're paying 3K in rent, like it's some nice shit.
it's some really nice. You living close to the beach.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I lived about when I lived in Melbourne, I lived maybe like 20 minutes from the beach. You know what I'm saying? And I paid like a 1,200 in rent when I left. I was up to 1,200, but when I first got there, I was paying like $700 in rent, but it increased because somebody else bought the property and increased the rent.
All right, awesome.
Damn.
Great super
Mhm.
chat there, Joseph Ashbury. Welcome back, bro. So I have a question for you, Deformed. So I was speaking with Rashawn a couple of weeks ago, right? And we're speaking about wealth, right? Black men building wealth. I'm all about black men gaining wealth and influence. And he said that if you come to Australia and you want to make a lot of money, do it. Would you agree so? Let's say you want to make a lot of money within a 1 year or 2 year period, and you choose Australia to be your country to make a good amount of money. Let's say 100 grand over 2 years, maybe a bit more. Is Australia a good country to do that, brother? Deformed.
Yes, because the thing is, it's still a young country and it's going to keep growing. You know what I'm saying? And as long as it keeps growing, and if you get in while it's still young, you're definitely going to make money. Especially if you decide to like get into property. You know, if you get into buying property, because they got a lot of like first. If you become a citizen in Australia, because they allow you to have dual citizenship. You know what I'm saying? If you become a citizen in Australia, bro, the doors open. They got all kind of first buyer, homeowner. Man, it's crazy, man. They got their property, like for instance, if it's your first time buying a house, the government actually gives you money to buy that house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
They give you money. I think they give you like a $14,000 loan at first to just.
All
Is
right,
he still there?
awesome. You still there, bro?
Mhm.
I thought that was me. I think you cut
No,
off.
it was. Mm.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh man.
he's 100%. Adding to that, he's
Mhm.
100% right about their first home buy loan and stuff like that. They give you like I think it's now up to 21K depending on what you want to buy. It's amazing, actually amazing. They do that. They give you money, and you pay it off over a long time. But the only thing bad about Australia is that you can't live here for good because you pay a lot of tax if you above 100K a year. No, on 150K a year, you pay a lot of tax, and you don't get money back.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Mm.
interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that wealth aspect. So I want brothers to make wealth, brothers on this platform to make a lot of wealth
Mm.
during the course of their life. So we got to decompart Australia to an absolute T. So we got some things planned, me and the guest brothers. And we won't say it here yet, but we're going to speak
Mhm.
more about what you should do in Australia when you get out there and what industries to work into. So me and Ray Sean will be back again to collab again to speak about, gaining wealth in Australia, because I think that's very important for the brothers, man. Black men, we need to
True.
rise. We need to rise like phoenixes. I'm not liking what I see in worldwide amongst black men. Okay, we
True.
can't
That's
be being left behind when white men, Arab men, Chinese men, Indian men are making all this money in Silicon Valley, in Africa, in the West. What's going on, man? I'm sick of it.
true.
We got to be there as well, man. I'm sick of it, brothers.
Facts, bro. I
You
totally
know,
agree with you, man. I totally agree with you.
it's so we're gonna see our options. So expect more of these wealth streams, because we need to get our money up, all of us. Get our money up,
Mm.
get our power up, our influence up. And if Australia can allow us to do that within a time period, maybe 1 year, working hard, forget about the woman, or even travel to Indonesia and the Asian countries in general, but just make money
Mhm.
in Australia, we're going to speak on that, brothers, okay? I think that's very important. Fantastic. So, brothers, 10
Mm.
more minutes, man. 10 more minutes. So,
Mm.
super chat and cash up your questions or call in, brothers. You want to add anything else important, Rachel?
Nah, man. Man. Shout out to the dude that was there, man. He just brought out the information that added more that I didn't know about Melbourne. You know what I'm saying? Which is really good. Melbourne is the best place. If you're a brother and you want to move to the big cities, good. Most definitely move to the big cities. They have so many opportunities. Like I told you, Sydney is the best city if you want to do IT. And if you want to make money too, move to Melbourne. If you want a more diverse city that you have other black folks, or people are not uptight. Like you said something about racism. Racism here, it's not, it don't come to your face and say something stupid like the UK or even the police. They don't care about you. They don't care about you like that. They don't look at you funny. They don't treat you funny and all that kind of stuff, which is really good. Dating, like I said, man, don't wife these Australian girls. Period. Stay away from them as far as possible in terms of marriage. You can come and have fun with them, but don't wife them. If you want to live a healthy and productive life, and you want to protect your kids from this crazy world, don't wife them at all. So it's something that's really important that you need to stress out to the guys that, with all the fun that we might have, don't wife an Australian girl. You're gonna end up in tears.
Thank you, bro. And to make money, you should go to either Melbourne or Sydney. Okay.
You can even come to Queensland, like my state, anywhere in the world. Well, let me tell you something. One kept secret: remote cities, or rural cities, like remote cities, like if you go to Northern Territory, you earn more money. Like I tell you, you can go to America. You can come to Australia and work in the mining towns, and even the mining town. Yeah. He's talking about Perth as well. Perth is a very good city too. Go to Perth, any city in Australia, even the remote cities, you earn more money, and you get more benefits from the desert. Even in the remote cities, rent is very cheap. You can pay like 180 for a big ass apartment. It's 180 a week.
Remote city. What does remote city mean, bro? Remote city. Remote
Like
city.
it's outside the big cities, like rural cities. Like it's more country
Yeah.
city towns, like Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Darwin. You can go to Cairns. Those cities are really cheap, really cheap. You can pay rent like $200 a week for a big ass 2-bedroom apartment. So which is really good. You save more money. A lot of people, I know a lot of Africans who go to those cities, save up a lot of money. They can save up 100K and come back to the big cities, make a deposit for a house, buy cars, buy whatever they want to do. And they make they do big things. So that's what a lot of people, you can come and go to the remote cities and you do big. You can do a lot of things. So it's a very good city, like you said. It's a growing economy which you can come. Before COVID, they were doing like they wanted migration for about another 20 million to make it 45 million people in this country.
What is that? So that's from
Yeah,
immigration from all around the world, Africa,
all
Asia,
around the
Europe.
world. But obviously, they always prioritize people that come from the first world.
Yeah.
So if you're Canadian or British or any other place, yeah, American, they prioritize those people. They didn't want a lot of Africans to come in because it's a big process. I got a lot of African friends, and it's a big ass process for them to come out here. So they try to limit those people from coming in. They don't limit them, but they try to make sure the people coming in are the wealthy, well educated, a lot of whole process they need to do and all that kind of stuff. So that's what they try to do. But anywhere in the world, if you got a first world passport or second world passport, man, you can come here and live for 2 years for free, and you can work too. So, like most of my American friends came here with no education. I got a friend of mine. He came here with no education. Came at 17, and he's been here ever since.
This is crazy. I think there's probably there's a gold mine there to make big money there in Australia, from what I'm hearing so far. And I want Brothas to be a part of it, man. So we're gonna dig into that deeper, man. This is good. This is good, bro. Fantastic. All right, brothers, you got 5 more minutes to call in or cash up and super chat your questions, or you can just cash up me and super chat me and support me and show your support before I end the stream. This has been another great stream. Give me a second. Let me get some water. Okay, hold on, brothers. Hold on. Hold on, bro. All right, awesome. All right, so shout out to the boss, Mr. Joseph Ashbury, again for the $20 super chat. Thank you for the support, brother. It means a lot to me, Joseph. What would you not do if you had the opportunity to do it again? What kind of lessons learned could you elaborate on? Perhaps I could consider Australia as a home base. Great questions, Joseph. Missed you, bro. Go on, Rishon.
To do it again. I wouldn't think anything. I wouldn't change anything. My experiences here has been good, man. I've made a lot of money. There's a lot of opportunities. I've gone through a lot in this country that I'm really grateful for. It's taught me to be a man in all sorts of ways, in all kind of ways. And so many opportunities that I don't think I would have gotten if I stayed back in America. It's a great opportunity. And man, you can come here perhaps. Yeah, like you said. But for me, honestly, my own point of view is, if you want to have a beautiful life and an amazing life, come here and make your money and move to a country that you know that does not have that much great influence in terms of or power in terms of pushing stupid agendas. And I don't recommend any first world country to live in. I know people now are moving to Europe, or they're moving to even the Middle East. People moving to China, Japan, any country that's not heavily influenced by feminism, and that's a great country to move at. And you can actually invest in businesses and all that kind of stuff that helps you grow. You can come here if that doesn't bother you, feminism doesn't bother you, you can come here, man. Like, it's a great opportunity. Housing is pretty good here. Investments pretty good here. You can invest in so many things, property, real estate, whatever. You can have a good 9-to-5 job that's really good. You can move anywhere, and you can migrate to any state that you want. You can go to Perth. You can go to Adelaide. You can go to Melbourne. You can go to Canberra. Canberra is a very small town. It's the capital city, but man, it's dead. But you can go to Sydney. You come here to Brisbane or the Gold Coast. It's pretty good. It's an amazing place.
Awesome. Great super chat there, Joseph. Shout out to Joseph again. Thank you, boss, for the $20 super chat. Third one for tonight. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, Joseph. He says, I want to build a photography studio in a stable environment. IP, I am coming to England soon to have a better view. LOL. Let me know when you're coming down here, Joseph. That'll be awesome, brother. Fantastic, brother. Fantastic. Can he build a photography studio in Australia, brother?
Yeah, I used to do photography here too. But my first years, I used to do photography. I'm a photographer pretty much. It's my side hustle type of thing. But I used to do it my first years I came out here. But I would say that the best cities to go do it is Melbourne and Sydney. There's more a little bit of my diversity and people trust what you're kind of doing.
Wow, there you go, man.
Mm.
Wow, thank you for that, Joseph,
Mm.
for the support. It means a lot to me, brother. Thank you, Rayshon, for breaking that down even further. Brothers, I'm gonna stay on for a bit long. Rayshon, how long do you have left to stay on, bro?
5 more minutes, I'll be good. It's
Okay,
almost
5 more
2
minutes,
o'clock here.
brothers. 5 more minutes, man. So, call in now, brothers, man. Call in or support Cash App, Super Chat. That'd be greatly appreciated. This has been a great stream, man. And me and Rayshon will be getting in touch again to provide you more content, brothers. I think Australia is a gold mine for making money. And please consider it, brothers. Okay, consider it. You know, again, this movement is not only about women, but it's about navigating brothers to get power and influence in their lives, man. You know, and it's got to start from somewhere. You know, I can't change the whole world, but I have a voice. Okay, I have a voice, and I do what I can to make sure brothers get their money up and brothers get influence and live great lives and connect with each other. Okay, so brothers, please make sure you know you take it seriously, man. You take it very seriously. Awesome. So, brother, let me ask this: how long do you see yourself living there in Australia?
So I've been here for 5 years now. So I'm planning to live here for a couple more years. I think 3. I got give myself 5 more years. 5 more years. Then I'll probably, because my brother was here for 13 years, and he moved back to America. So I'm giving myself 5 more years, and I'll probably see if I can go back, or I'll find another country I want to go to.
Damn, 5 more years, bro. Ooh, okay.
5 more years.
Damn.
Because I'm telling you, man, 5 more years, you make you will build something, a lot. What I've done in 2 years, man.
Wow, in terms of making money, bro.
Yeah, 2 years, man. 2 years. What I did in 2 years, that's a lot. I made a lot of money in 2 years. What I've done in 2 years, and with my nursing too, I was working 2 jobs, in nursing, and I was making good money, very good money, and I plan to continue and see how I go. And in the next 5 years, because in the next 5 years, I'm planning to sort out my stay here. Probably have a second citizenship and stuff like that, dual citizenship.
Ooh.
And then I'll venture somewhere else.
This is good, bro. And hopefully in those 5 years you find a beautiful woman, obviously not from Australia, but abroad.
No.
And, you can plan that very well. This is good, brother. And when you convert your currency to American currency, does it hold up quite strong?
Yeah, it's quite strong too, man. Like $1,000, Australian, $1,000 is something like 820 USD. Yeah, it should be around there.
That's pretty good. Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. What was it? Is it acceptable to be working 2 jobs in Australia, or is that something you kept away from your employer?
No, 3 jobs you're allowed to, because we do shift work here. So everybody is on what we call permanent part-time. So they're guaranteed 4 shifts a week, 4 shifts or 3 shifts a week. Then after whatever you do after that, it's your business. But the tax man does tax you a lot of money for having 2 jobs. He does love taxing you.
I see. Okay. Awesome, bro. Do you have a business there in Australia, or do you do it under the employee scheme where you get taxed normally?
I used to do my photography business too here, when I started, but we closed it down with my brother. So my brother's he's continued the business in America. We moved back to America, where he's pretty much doing well there. But we were not getting tax relief because we're not making that much money from it too. So we're not getting, we're actually getting we got some relief from the government. I forgot what it was through COVID. Which helped us a lot.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Mr. Joseph Ashbury again for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Joseph, for coming through tonight with the the support for the 4th time. Much love to you. It means a lot to me, Joseph. Thank you so much, brother, for supporting me. As always, you're a legend, brother. Hall of Fame member. Thank you, Joseph. He says, need to talk. Sharp Lens Photography LLC.
I
think
think
for
that's
you,
his
bro.
photography page. Oh yeah, I'll check you out. I'll send you a message on Instagram, bro, and we can talk.
Awesome. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate you, bro. This is great. So while you work 2 jobs, brother, is that a normal employee job where you get taxed normally under the government, right?
Yeah. Both
Okay.
of them are pretty much, yeah. Both of them are pretty much, yeah. Because I work for 2 hospitals. I work for a private hospital and a public hospital. So that helps pay a lot, and which is pretty good. Pretty good. You earn a lot of money and you do pay a lot of tax, of course, with that too. But it helps you, you know, have 2 incomes coming in. So if you have any money that you want to invest in other things, you have that opportunity.
Yeah, that's great, bro. Hey, this brother's a smart brother, man. This is a very
Mm-hmm.
smart brother. This is what I want to see brothers doing, man. Honestly, brothers, we gotta get our
Yeah,
money
like,
up, bro.
cause
Get our
man,
influence up. Go on, bro.
because man, like I said, like whatever is happening, and I think we spoke about this. Whatever is happening in the world, bro, is to the black race is because we're not at the top, and you need to
Mm,
live a different life for you to be recognized as a human being. Whatever is racism, whatever it is, and I totally refuse to be in that victim mindset and all that kind of stuff. I live in a country where there's so many opportunities for me to make a lot of money. Why not? Why not? There's always a job somewhere else. And I'm telling you, like people who open doors for me, like my job, they hunted for me for my jobs. For all my 2 jobs, they hunted me. So it's not something that I was like applying for jobs on the line and stuff like that. They heard of a good guy who's, you know, somebody knew me. It's like, oh yeah, I like the way you work. Cool shit. Dude, send me your resume. I was like, okay, cool. I'll send you my resume. Send my resume. They're like, oh yeah, when are you starting? Monday. Cool. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you need to build that reputation with people and also make yourself, you want to live a comfortable life. I don't think I don't want to do this for the next 5 years. And in 5 years that I'm living out of the country, I'm leaving Australia. In that time, I should be sitting on somewhere on a beach, and I'm like, yo, I'm making money in my sleep. That's the end goal. That's what you should dream for.
facts, man. Absolute facts. And we'll get there, brothers, man. All of us will get there. Okay. Just follow the movement. You know, I'm preaching the IT lifestyle to you, brothers. You know, join the Patreon Diamond tier to join my upcoming Python classes I'll be doing in November. You know, I'm trying to get you brothers started for success. You know, we are in the last 3 months of 2022. Next year we have to ball out, man. No excuse. Next year we go even harder than we went this year. Okay, so make sure you take our words very wisely. Mr. Rashawn, I don't want to take your time any longer. I know you're a busy man. Do you have any closing statements at all, brother, before we end the stream?
Hey man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for the opportunity they gave me, man, to speak to the brothers about Australia, man. It's an amazing place. And pretty boy, man, drop your IG, man. I'm gonna send you a message. Send me a message. I want to send you a message actually. I want to hear about Melbourne, man, because I've never really explored Melbourne. I might think about, you know, going there for a job and stuff like that, you know, get a job there and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. And man, guys, just keep on your grind, man. Remember, man, purpose, stick to your purpose, because you know purpose opens doors. Don't focus on women too much. They don't want that. They don't want that kind of life. They want to see you on your purpose and getting your money, and they absorb themselves into that purpose. Don't chase them. It's not something that you do, man. Like, look at ourselves, man. It's great we have these platforms that are telling us about this information to better ourselves and be acknowledged by the world that, hey man, there are brothers out there who are working and building themselves. Don't be stuck into this victim mentality that they try to promote, especially in our race. Don't fall into that. Let's build ourselves, build a better life for ourselves, and you know, be there and be recognized
Awesome.
as one of the great people too. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate you, Mr. Rashawn. All right, brothers, this has been a great live stream. Make sure you reach out to me on the social platforms I provided. Hit the Cash App when I end the stream. Support the movement whenever you can. Cop the merch. Be a part of the ecosystem. Join the Patreon Diamond tier to be a part of the upcoming Python classes on my Patreon. And thank you again to our brother Rashawn. Thank you to all those who cash out and super chatted. That was great. Look at this, man. You know, this warms my heart, man. You know, he just come in the last 30 minutes and he's super chatted, you know, 5 times in 15 minutes, man. That's love right there. You know, he recognizes that I've been doing. Go on, bro.
I was saying, yeah, man, that's a real friend. That's a real man. That's a real man right there, man. He's trying to build himself, man, better himself. Shout out to you, Joseph.
Absolutely, man. Like over the past 8 years, I've been doing this, man. You know, and it's been a long journey trying to get brothers out there. So when I see the support coming in, it warms my heart, man, because it's been very tough. It's been 8 years of late nights, you know, very late nights. You know, it's not easy streaming, you know, at midnight, you know, past midnight. Right now it's 4:45 a.m. in the UK. You know, it's not easy doing that, brothers. But I do it for you, brothers, because I care about you, brothers, man. I really do care about you, brothers. I do it for you. You know, so when you support, it warms my heart. Joseph, thank you for the $20 super chat. He says, thanks again, IP. Another great show. Stay on your purpose. Get your passport. Wheels up. Yes, indeed. Thank you for the kind words, Joseph. And Joseph, man, we missed you, man. So make sure you're here more often, Joseph. I know you're a busy man, bro, but we want to see you more often, Joseph. You are a Hall of Fame member and legend on this space, man. I appreciate you, Joseph. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna end the stream right now, brothers. Thank you to all those who cash apped and super chatted tonight. And make sure you like the video and you comment when this video drops on my channel. And have a great day all around the world, brothers. Be easy. International passport out. Peace out, brothers. Thank you so